up? What's going on? Drum worship in your face. And I want to give a shout out, first of all, to Brian over at True Drone Reviews, Mr. Turd. He pretty much guarantees every drone is a turd, but I love him for it. I love the fact that he's honest and he tells it like it is, and he buys all the products that he gets, and then he gives you an honest opinion. Turds out everything. I love it, man. That's this hobby needs more of that. I tried to introduce that style a year and a half ago, and everybody hated it. So apparently, don't chop drones in half with chainsaws. People get upset. But Brian has done a good job of making it a thing, and I congratulate him. For those of you guys who don't know, Brian over at True Drone Reviews, awesome dude. Really enjoys doing his own thing though, and I give him props for that. That's something I could probably learn a good lesson or two about. Getting back into just doing your own thing. But I also expand, and I love to help everybody grow and all that fun jazz. So, but shout outs to Brian. He is sending me his solo. For those of you guys who didn't know, I guess he doesn't really fly it. It sat for like a year or something. He said it was going to sit for probably another year. So he went ahead and sent it to me. So that's very cool. Thank you, Brian. I'm also shouting out Crystal's Crazy Corner, Crystal Justice on YouTube. She does like Wacky Wednesday and, Crystal's Crazy Corner and all sorts of fun stuff. I've known Crystal and Chris for a very long time. They're very cool people. After this, I'll go ahead and put everybody's link in the description below. Feel free to chat, you guys. I don't see any chat. There we go. JW, what's going on? Crystal did a video for me yesterday that was very heartfelt, very from here, and I thank them for that. Chris also did the 3D printing that I requested, I don't know, like 5 or 6 days ago now. He did a print, but they uploaded the video to Crystal's channel, so if you check out Crystal Justice, go to her YouTube channel, you can check that out. She always needs the support and love. Everybody can grow, so help each other grow. You know how it goes. We will, don't forget Mr. Crowley. Well, Mr. Crowley doesn't pop in enough on DW's channel. So, Mr. Crowley, I go to almost every one. I was going to almost every one of your lives. But you got to remember, bro, spread the love. It's about spreading the love, man. So I give everybody a week off, and then I pop back in and see how things are going. But Chris and Crystal run the Drone Network. If you guys don't watch that, I believe it's every Thursday or Friday night. I'll have to check. It's easy enough for them just to comment in the comment section. If they do comment when it is, I'll pin it. They're normally doing it when I'm out doing things, so I don't always catch it. But I know, Mr. Crowley. I know, Sean. Got love for you, bro. Got love for you. I've been busy too, man. I've been trying to get everything prepared to go back to work and doctor's visits and all sorts of fun stuff. So I'm pretty out of it myself here. Just trying to get back into the flow of things. But yeah, Chris is 3D printed those cases, those STL files that I sent him. They look absolutely fantastic for the solo battery build. On top of that, yes, no, I've known Chris and Crystal now for almost 4 years. 4 years. We started all this together. Chris and Crystal used to be one of the original people that would come onto my live streams when I would just do random things. There was no show, there was nothing. We would just go live. That was like 4 years ago now, 3 years ago, something like that. Crazy time frame. And then they started their own show, the Drone Network, and they've been growing ever since. And then Chris kind of weaned his way over into FPV, and very cool. He's also sending me a parts solo, which is pretty neat. Apparently, I had an Arducopter problem out the hole, or a Pickhawks issue with stabilization in the software. The gyro sensor must be confused or something. But yeah, he sent me a harvest bird, so hopefully I can take that harvest bird and get my red solo that's been with me for 4 years now back in the air here soon. So 6 people and no comments, man, other than JW and Sean. I'm feeling not the love, man. The stream is supposed to be about love, damn it. You guys are fine. I know some of you guys are probably at work right now trying to catch the stream or just let it play. And we have our lurkers and, of course, our trolls. And we got everybody. Everybody comes to channel. It just Drone Worship loves everybody. Come in here. Get a big hug. Come on. Unless you're Bill the Drone Reviewer or John Coopy. I could name a bunch of people, but I'm not going to. By the way, Bill, if you watch this, man, stop picking your nose on camera. That's gross, dude. That's gross. That's what like toddlers up to, at least 12 years old will do in public. Are you any of those ages? I didn't think so. You may not want to pick your nose before you end the live stream. It looks kind of gross, dude. I did get a picture of it. I got a screenshot. Man, oh man. You were up there, bro. Digging for the gold. What were you doing, sir? I need to know. It's nasty. It's nasty, sir. Oh, man. Mr. March 1, what's going on? Mr. Mach 1. March? Mach. Yeah, then. All right, well, there we go. So, haven't talked to you for a bit. No, I would agree with that. I'm going in. When am I going in? This Thursday at 3 to have my HydroSeal drained off. For those of you guys who know what a HydroSeal is, if you don't, look up HydroSeal. I solved one problem with my hernia to create another. So I've yeah. Yep. Shots across the bow, Bill the drone reviewer. Anyways, big shout outs to Chris and Crystal, man, and Brian over at True Drone Reviews. Very cool people. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed to them, just by their names, Chris is MD95TSI. Again, that's MD95TSI. He runs the Drone Network. Crystal is Crystal Justice on YouTube. And you can pick your nose. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick friends' nose. Oh, geez. That's too much to take in, man. I'm not trying to think that hard today. You just went. That's what you just did to me, man. You just did that to me. My brain is fried now. Fried. You hear me? So, solo projects in the works. I also have on the shelf behind me that's almost empty. If you see a little statue standing up behind my head, standing on something, that is Marty McFly standing on a hoverboard. And my next project is going to be Flying Hoverboard Marty. Along with that, I am going to be finally converting this into a flyable, second flyable DeLorean. This is very lightweight. I think I've got most of the weight out of it now, so I should be able to get this to fly. I'm probably going to pick up another Tiny Hawk. 2S Tiny Hawk, because I think it'll have no issue raising this frame up. And then we're going to have to do some custom work to it, some little 3D printed tires that basically weigh nothing, so I can put those on here. And it should look pretty cool. Jose Rodriguez, what is going on, my brother? What is happening? We're just talking about the new flying DeLorean build to match my other flying DeLorean build. And then we're talking about making little tiny Marty McFly on a hoverboard there fly. So that's the new projects. Thomas O'Sullivan, what is going on? I am good. You guys are more than welcome to join me if you want to. I'm not doing anything right now. I may go get some water here in a sec. Anybody who wants to come in, man, there's the link. Join me on the stream. Say hello. See how things go. This is an opportunity for you guys to grow your channel. And for those of you that are taking the hit right now, like I am, again, for the 10th damn time from YouTube, who doesn't want to leave me the frick alone, man, they just leveled my revenue stream again. That's really stupid. I earned $214 this last month, and all of a sudden I lost 41 subscribers, and they cut like $80 off my revenue stream for no apparent reason. Didn't send me a message, nothing. This is the type of crap that YouTube does to people, and then you wonder why everybody's so frustrated with YouTube. Number one, they barely let you grow. Two, if they do pay you, they somehow find a way to keep the money to themselves. It's really kind of ridiculous. Two, if they do. Oh, I can hear myself in the background. What's up, Jose? Oops, he just dropped out? I guess he dropped out. So, yeah, be ready. They're purging again slowly. The 41 subs I just earned over the last month, they crapped and got rid of again. So there you go, man. It just lets you know how YouTube operates. They don't care about the smaller channels. They don't want you to grow. They just don't care. So
You know how YouTube
try this again.
All right.
Hey, Jose,
Yeah.
what's up?
What's up, man?
What's
you hear
going
me?
on? I can hear you.
Awesome. All right.
However, I do have a question. I can hear me talking in the background, so I'm assuming you're playing the YouTube stream as well.
No, I actually.
Oh,
No.
maybe your speakers are turned up too loud?
Yeah, maybe.
Picking up, reverbing onto the microphone?
How about now?
I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah, but now I can't hear you.
Oh my God, we got to get you a headset. That's why we all switched over to these stupid things.
Here. Anyway.
Well, it's good to see you, man.
Busy?
Yeah. Busy.
Shoot, and I saw that tragedy. Oh my God.
You know, it could have gone.
I would give up, but you don't do that. I know you.
No.
I know you.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna rebuild the Solo now, bigger and better than it ever was. Failure is not an option, man. There's only one way to go from here, and that's up.
Well, you verified what you've been telling people about those batteries.
Yeah. I guess that was a harsh way to find out, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. I know that back when we first started communicating with each other, I was telling you, oh man, they have batteries all over eBay.
No,
they're crappy. They're old.
They are on their way out, man. Yep, that's exactly what they are. They're a ticking time bomb. If they don't die during flight, they may just burn up sitting on your table. There is a reason B&H decided to sell off the massive load of them that they had, because for cheap, dude, B&H was selling batteries off for like $19 a pop.
Wow,
and they were
B&H dealt with that.
They did brand new batteries. They had pallets of these things, and they were just sitting around. They were trying to get $50-$60 for them, and then they realized nobody was buying them, so they dropped them to $20, and they started including a free set of legs with every battery that you buy for the Solo. And so, sure, at that point, I was like, $20 a piece. That's $20 for just the BMS. Heck, I'll buy them and, take the BMSs out and do that whole thing. So, but, I think they started realizing what probably happened was that they had a fire.
Light on me.
Yeah, you're good. I think what happened was they probably had a fire. One of the batteries ignited.
Keep talking.
Yep, and it sent them into like, holy crap, these things are a ticking time bomb. Let's get rid of these. So, yep. Michael Blade, what's up? Steve, what is happening? Steve, the link is posted. Feel free to come in. I was given Brian at True Drone Reviews, Chris and Crystal at the Drone Network a shout out. So they were being super cool. So I have a new Solo coming, and I have a Harvest Solo coming.
Oh, okay.
So, yep. And then I think Pedro said he's done flying drones. He said, if I'm going to give it away or send it to anybody, I'm sending it to you. So I may end up with 3 of these damn things.
Now, your lady has that one up on your shelf.
Yeah. That's hers. I said, babe, I may have to stretch the wings on your Solo. And she goes, don't lose mine.
Don't mess with my Solo.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. She'll take care of you, man.
Well, she bought hers. That's her. That's her own drone, man. She gets to fly it whenever she wants to. So,
hey, did you ever get rid of your Spark?
I did. I got $350 for it. I thought that was a good deal.
That's pretty much what.
Yep. Yeah, that was with but I think by the time it just evened out to what I bought it for and bought all the accessories for it. Just I came out on not on top, but even.
And you're going to be skeet shooting that Breeze, Breeze anytime soon?
Believe it or not,
I would go down to Tampa just to see that.
I am, right. I am actually clearing the shelves right now of products I don't use anymore. They're all on the floor. I'm selling them off all as one large RC bundle. And or trade for something of interest, you know what I'm saying? It may end up with something cool. So the Breeze is actually in that pile. That lasted a whole 2 months, and
I have one. And the thing that I find really annoying with it is that, you yaw in one direction, it'll climb up. You yaw in the other direction, and it'll just dive straight down. I
actually solved that by removing that metallic glass piece on the bottom. And I thought that would probably make a difference. Steve, what is going on, man?
Hello, Dan, Jose. Hello.
Hi, how you doing, man?
Good.
I've been watching Steve the last couple of live streams. You know a lot of stuff, man. You got to teach me.
Yeah, Steve is well
I'm
versed,
just gonna
man.
sit down and be quiet and listen to you guys. Man.
I woke up to a YouTube video about me, so I already had a fun morning. I was and you know, I promised I would not make more videos about people, so I've chosen not to. I'll let him go. Do you guys know Xavier, Drone X Factor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I've seen him. Yeah.
He made an interesting video about me today, and Ken Dono.
Really?
Yeah, me and Ken. We I get why he's doing it. He wants the attention. He wants everybody to go over there and watch his channel and subscribe and cause controversy. And then he'd love for us to make a video about him again because that'll give him more views. And he seems to be a clickbaity person who understands the clickbait system very well and knows that if he starts a war with these YouTubers that they'll go back and forth, except me and Ken are smarter than that. We made our videos. We told everybody what we thought, and then we moved on with life. Like I'm sorry. I'm not playing that game, dude.
You know, it's almost like YouTube just loves that kind of
they do. Drama, baby. They love
Remember our boy, what's that guy's name? The Paul brothers. Do you know who the Paul brothers are? You don't had nothing to do with
think
drones.
so.
Nothing. Okay, so Jake Paul.
Oh, Jake and yeah,
Jake Paul, the Paul brothers, and Daddy Paul. Okay, they wanted to start this big fight with some British boxer because apparently they're gym rats. You know, they're in pretty good shape, all of them are.
Sure.
And Mr. Paul set up to have his son challenge this guy who would kick his ass from ring post to ring post, but it was all for publicity. They got millions of views on this goddamn video.
Oh yeah,
you know, the signing of the contract and all of the drama and all of that. And he's famous for that thing he did in Japan. He went to that so-called, you know, it's a forest where the Japanese, being all about honor, they go there to commit suicide, and he found some guy hanging, and he videotaped it, and he did a close-up of his face on his thumbnail. You know what YouTube did? They trended it.
Really?
His video until finally, you know, all of the feedback came back to YouTube and all of the complaints, and they pulled him off. They demonetized him for just a few months. The guy makes millions. He's not PewDiePie, but he makes millions of dollars. Lives in like a $3-4 million mansion in Beverly Hills.
Right.
I mean, he does nothing. All he does is this videos.
Yeah, so I was actually I watched that when he did a live stream actually before he put out the video. He was like, dude, we're in the woods and we found somebody.
Right. Yeah.
That, you know, and I was like, oh boy, don't show that on film. And then sure enough, man, you surround yourself with enough yes men, they're going to tell you it's a great idea.
That's what he's got. He's got a little posse of people that always follow him.
We know a couple people that are like that.
Yeah. I was watching your favorite, what is it? That guy, that Quadcopter 101. Is that
Mr.
the guy that gets
I'll sell anything to anyone.
So
yeah.
I'm ignorant when it comes to this. Do these people just get free drones from all of these Banggood and oh my God.
And the reason why Quadcopter 101 continues to grow at such an amazing pace is because he says everything is great. I don't think I've ever once been to his channel where he's been like, I can't recommend this to anybody. What he'll do instead is if you've been a weathered pilot and you listen to what he says, you can catch all the little things that he's doing. He'll be like, this isn't really for a grown-up, but your kids would love this. What he just basically said was, this thing sucks as an adult. You're not going to enjoy it. Your kid may have fun with it, but it's uncontrollable. Good luck. You know, but he doesn't want to talk crap about it because he knows if he does, what happens? The sponsor's going to be like, whoa, hey. You know, so he'll say anything is great. You got to catch the keywords that he uses in the background. You just pay attention. You can hear that he's saying it sucks. But that's unfair to do it that way in my eyes, because I shouldn't have to be a good pilot to already know what he's explaining. That should be explained in the video. You're talking about people that are newbies getting into this hobby. You're not, you know what I mean? Like that's unfair that you do it that way. I can't follow reviewers like that, so I don't watch them. You know, which brings me to my next point. I'm starting reviews again. So yeah, we're done with all that. Yeah, just Steve. Yeah, we're gonna get back into some reviews. I don't care if it's Hubsan. I don't care what crosses the board. But I promise you one thing: if I pay for it, it's honest, and if I don't pay for it, it's still honest. So I don't care.
I know you get emails all the time from Chinese companies and
stupid stuff, bro. Dumb stuff. Would you like to check their keyboard?
I get the same thing having to do with my side of things, photography and printing photos at home, that kind of thing. They want you to review it. They want you to pay for shipping, first of all.
Right. Yeah, which I tell them no.
Yeah, it's like, and then they want you to give them a positive review. We're looking for a 5-star review. Yeah, this thing better make love to me. Okay. This product, because otherwise, if it sucks, it sucks.
Well, I'm hoping I managed to get my hands on a fun one that was going to be released, but it ended up just being prototype model. And what's interesting is that I bought 2 of them. I bought one for, oh wow, really? In the middle of my show, a WinZip ad is going to pop up. I bought 2 of them. One of them I'm going to do the review, and if it's awesome, I'm probably going to keep it. If not, I'll sell it to somebody else. And I bought the second one to give away. So the company, you guys may know them. They're called the Air Selfie Drone, right? They originally started off a company called Keyshare, and they built like 2,000 of these things, these prototype models, and they were going to release them, except they got bought out by another company that was like, oh wow, that's an amazing idea. They bought it, and the drone at the time was called the Pixley, right? There's only 3 YouTube videos about the Pixley. That's it. So this prototype never saw the light of day, and then it got bought out and revamped. Well, apparently these 2,000 prototype models are still sitting here, and the company is now deciding to sell them off. So I decided to buy one to test and review, and then the second one I'll give away on the channel. And if they're still available for purchase and it doesn't end up sucking, I'll share that link with everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's fun. I mean, there's no, you're not going to get any support for the drone anymore. That's going to be done for, but hey, what the heck, take it apart and you realize you can replace the battery, the thing may fly forever. It's got brushless motors, optical flow sensor, but it's like this freaking big, man. A tiny thing, a little 4K HD camera on it. Some crazy stuff. So
4K camera?
I believe it's 4K.
Holy mackerels.
So yeah, man.
Stabilization. Does it use any kind of stabilization? Optical? Or
I don't think so.
Software
Actually, I take that back. If you do share now, then it's not going to be stabilized. If you do share later, then it records to it's got 8 gigs of internal memory. It records to the 8 gigs of internal memory. And I think then it applies the EIS software. So could be wrong. Pixley's not like I said, there's not much information about it because the idea then got bought and completely redone. Right. And they made a smaller version of it called the Air Selfie, 2 or something like that. But I just thought it was cool that you guys can have an opportunity to own a prototype that nobody's ever going to have their hands on except for a few select people, So I thought that would be kind of neat.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah. So I told Brian about it. True Drone Reviews. He bought one. His is coming soon, I think. So you're probably going to hear whether it's a turd or not before I have the opportunity. But I figured once I found the link, I'm like, dude, you can't beat this price. I'm sending this to everybody that does reviews.
So you'll be doing a review on something that Quadcopter 101 has never done.
Yeah, exactly.
Or our other boy, what's his name? Jay Drone.
Oh my God, I'm so sick of that dude.
Oh, I get it. I get a headache. Occasionally, I'll get a pop up and like a recommended video, and it's him. I'll click on it just for fun. Yeah. Everything starts the same way. Everything starts in that same dump that he flies in. It's like, dude. Anyway,
I called him.
Oh, he was making fun of you one time.
I called him out.
By the way, he says, by the way, I'm not reading I'm not going to read the damn instructions.
That's what I told him. Well, that's what pisses me off, though. You have people that watch your channel that expect you to know about the drone, not just go out and be like, wow, it's just like every other toy. Let's push buttons and see what happens. Like, that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I don't. And dude, what about editing, bro? Have you ever heard of that? I don't just go out with my cell phone and be like, well, okay, we're going to,
I watched one of his very rare live streams, and he's got to have like 300, 400 drones on his wall. And it's like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
what the
do you know why I originally called him out?
No, I don't.
It wasn't for any of that stuff. As everybody has come to know me as the troll, the bad guy, or the hater, but I think you all misunderstand why. I think a lot of you don't get what I do in the background. I only do it if you make it personal or you're lying, and I catch you in that lie.
I know that.
Right. Okay, so here's the thing. Jay Drone was going around saying, "Oh, you know, I work in this, I own this business, and I'm, you know, a guy that you know does food and catering, and I'm the owner of this catering business, and I'm here to set up early for this event, and you know, my business is doing really good." And then I was like, well, he doesn't sound like why would he be doing grunt work on his own? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you own this massive catering business, the chances of you working by yourself, first of all, are slim to none. Okay, unless you really had to. But it got me thinking. I'm like, all right, well, let's find out. You know, Jason, I'm not going to say his last name. And, oh, okay. And then I clicked on his profile, and then I looked up associated jobs, and sure enough, I find that he's part of a catering service. But he's just an employee. He's not the owner of the company.
The delivery boy, probably.
Right. He's like just a little grunt worker that sets up tables and chairs for the company. And then I found out the actual dude's company name, and I got a hold of him, and I said, "Hey, are you aware your employee is saying that he owns your business?" You know, and then I got a message from Jay Drone. He's like, "Why would you do that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Because you're being fake. I'm calling you out on. You can't just go around on YouTube and say whatever you want to."
Yeah.
Somebody's going to find out in the end, bro. There's consequences to doing things like that. You don't just get to do whatever you want to because you think it's okay and nobody's going to find out. This is a prime example. Good luck, dude. I hope things work out for you, but I called you out on your BS, you know? And then he got really mad, and the next day he put out a video. He's like, all right, so I just wanted to tell everybody, you know, I've been putting out videos and I've been talking about this company and, you know, yeah, I'm not the owner, but it's really unfair what this guy did to me. Is it unfair? I think it's unfair what you did to everybody else. You know, how much other stuff have you lied to us about?
Lying, deception.
Right. You're just a deceiver. I don't want to watch a channel that's going to try to deceive me into things.
Have you looked at his standings on Social Blade?
No.
You know, he's not that high up there.
No.
With the number of reviews that he has done,
I know,
and fails that he has done, you know, like fail flights where it'll drop out of the sky for some stupid reason. He did not check. He did not perform a calibration ever. Okay. He feels he doesn't have to. So, because he's Jay Drone. You know, I figure with all of that exposure, he would be a little bit higher ranked, and he's not.
Well, he's put out over 2,000 videos. I've put out over 1,000, and I was already beating him still a while ago. Now he's at like 14 or 15,000 subs, but he's all over the map with his content. He doesn't really stick to one thing. He just jumps around and does as many videos of every drone that he can. Whether the video sucks or it doesn't, he doesn't care. It's just content. You know, he's growing in a fashion that doesn't make sense to me. No, I give him credit. He's growing, but not the right way. And I try to remind everybody that the idea is to build an audience of people, you know, and carry those people and have them with you and have, you know, it's a respect thing. He gets so many people that are like, this video was stupid. Like if you go through his comments, they're like, why wouldn't you have read the directions before you went out?
You get 100 dislikes out of, 500 likes.
Right.
That's
still pretty pitiful numbers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm doing okay. I don't know if you kept track. I'm at 25.5 now.
Nice.
Okay. So pretty soon, I figure like another month, I'll hit 26, and that doesn't mean I'm making more money,
right?
At all, because you got that weird ratio where subscribers versus people who are actually viewing your video don't necessarily subscribe. Like if you have 10,000 subscribers, you're probably getting views from maybe 70% of your viewers are not even subscribed to you. That's about the normal ratio nowadays.
True.
Where it should be more even, but for some reason it just never achieves that.
I think it's more than that, because like I said, I have just an example. I have almost 3 million views, right?
Mhm.
Almost 3 million views. That's a lot of people that
Mhm.
I've reached. 3 million doesn't sound like a lot, because when you see some of these videos, they have 44 million, and but in reality, that's a ton of people that I've actually reached, and out of that percentage bracket, right? So 3 million people that watched my content.
Well, 3 million.
9,000 of those people, not even a 1% margin, subscribed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that because people got the information they wanted and then dipped? Because I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
Yeah.
They don't know how to use YouTube properly. They don't know how to give the content creator. Right.
I mean,
they don't know that it's important to us to have you push the subscribe button and help us move forward.
Right.
And that's going to be the whole time you're on YouTube. That's how it's going to be.
I mean, I've done it. I looked up how to install a sensor under my heater module in my car.
Sure.
And boom, once I learned how to do it, I ordered it. That's it. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even leave a comment. I should have left a comment thanking the guy, but I didn't. So
Exactly, Jose. I think you're spot on. So many people will just be out there to search for a particular item or subject that they want the information. And one thing I'll do is, after I watch that video, and if they have like more than one video on that subject and I watch, that's when I'll go ahead and say, hey, this person, has something that I feel that I'd really like to see a little bit more of, and then subscribe to them.
Yeah.
Let's just say I'm Manamana FPV. I'm just starting to build my YouTube channel. Do you guys remember that song? Manamana.
It never ends.
No. That's only one to send a thumbs down on my own video so far. Well, Manamana apparently needs some support. If you guys feel like supporting Manamana FPV, make your way over there. That's a hard one to spell. I don't even think I know how to actually spell Manamana, because it goes Manamana. Oh, I guess it does Manamana. But isn't there spaces in the actual? Never mind. I'm not even going to try. I'm going to blow my brain out trying to think. Let's see. No one is perfect. No one is perfect. J-Drone tries to be.
Yeah. Well, he thinks he is.
Thinks he is. Yeah, there we go.
One of the amazing things about YouTube is it's like a business. Like, you could have the best business idea, the best business plan for, I don't care what it is, an ice cream shop. In Milwaukee, where my wife is from, they have a place called Kops, spelled with a K and double P. It's a freaking gold mine. It is the most inaccessible place. I mean, for you to want to go there, you have to want to go there. But they have this almost like a cult type clientele.
Mm-hmm.
You go, I don't care what time of day or night you go, the place is full of people. And I thought, you know what? Wow, that would really work here in Maryland, in Bethesda, nice trendy Bethesda, Maryland. Bullshit. It will not work. Just a different clientele here.
Right.
They would never want to eat high calorie frozen custard and big old greasy burgers. The best in the world. Okay. Mm-hmm. I've been there so many times already. And that doesn't mean it would work here. So the point I'm trying to make is that you set up a channel, especially in the drone world, and what are you going to do? You're going to cover every single type of drone, every type of flying in the world, FPV, racing, videography, just maybe going up and shooting stills, you name it, real estate, so many different little niches, if you will, that if you try to cover it all, you're just going to become that guy that gets maybe 1,000 views a month, really, because it's so saturated. You want to stick with DJI XYZ, just do that drone and do everything about it. Do like Dan does, Steve, and Dan gets into the nitty-gritty of the drone. He takes the goddamn thing apart.
I love it.
And then puts it back together.
Hell yeah.
And it works better than it did out of the factory.
You learn about it. That's the thing, is like DJI is not going to.
If I'm interested in that particular model of DJI or Unique or Parrot or whatever, this is the guy's channel I'm going to go to. So I'm going to be like a loyal. I don't give a shit what if he posts a video of him farting, I'm going to watch that video because it's Dan. You see, that's what I'm talking about. You get this loyal viewership, And that's what I've been experiencing, man, lately. I got this loyal group of people that, I mean, I get like 50 on my live stream every Saturday evening now, 50, 60 people. And it's always the same guys. And I'm getting new people from God knows where across the world.
Right.
I mean, so this is what I've noticed, and I have stuck to one subject only, and 2 brands. That's it. I don't go anywhere else. And so I became the go-to guy if you want to know something about these 2 brands of printers, that is the high-end photo printers that are like $1,000 and up. I'm the guy they go to, and takes up my whole freaking day answering questions. And I answer every comment that people post, every email. And so that kind of helps me, hey, this guy actually gives a shit about us viewers. Excuse me. You're going to get demonetized.
I don't care.
You know what I mean, right? I mean, you know what I'm getting at. So if I was going to do, a channel about what you do, getting into the insides of a drone, how to extract the most out of a drone, and not what they just give you out of the box.
Right.
That will put you in a niche that no one else is doing. No one. The rest of the people are just simply flying and reviewing the same goddamn field every single time. It's the same field. You get tired of it.
Mel, first of all, this is deep. Join us. It's not even about being a drone guy. This is about growing your channel. For those of you guys who don't know, Mel, who's in the chat right now, I've known him also for around 3 years. Very good dude. He's inspirational, to say the least. If you like inspirational people, Mel can hit you with that bucket of knowledge really quick on top of the head and be like, what were you doing, man? I call him the real life Morpheus. Right. He won't take the YouTube name, but he knows he really is. And he just needs to change his YouTube name to the real life Morpheus. But he should come in here right now. Wayne, what's up? Cardoso, what's going on? So you were saying about I am who I am. You were saying that there's a niche for the people that I guess I always like to take something and make it better if possible. Right. I don't care what it takes to get to that point, but I'll tear it down and I'll go, I bet you I can change this antenna. Oh, look they've left room here to do other things. Wow, let's see what we can do with this. And give you that same technology that the bigger birds offer for a fraction of the price with an older bird. Like people think older tech is just, it's old, it's an ancient fossil. That's not the case. The Bebop 1 is still incredible to this day to me. It's not very up to date with its signal platform being Wi-Fi, but I will say that it is fantastic for what it offers you. The internals on the thing are actually pretty incredible. Linux-based stabilization system, and you sent me an email about adjusting the GPS. Something's wrong with the GPS. It keeps frying the GPS boards, right? I've never heard of that, but maybe it's time now to start looking into maybe an MRO.
I think it's having to do, because I saw a video. If you look at the GPS module of a Bebop 2 compared to the Bebop 1, the Bebop 2 has that aluminum sort of rectangular.
Right.
And that's supposed to be, how the unique Typhoon has that metallic, almost brass or bronze covering on the body. When you take the top cover off,
right,
you'll see the GPS module hiding underneath.
Yeah, it's an interference guard, sure.
Right. So I think that's the problem with the Bebop 1.
But still, to fry it, that doesn't make sense.
No. They just won't connect.
Oh. Yeah, that's
you don't have an indication like on the Anafi. You have an indication of the number of satellites.
That's a perfect example of.
I can still fly it.
Right.
Beautifully. I just don't have telemetry because, of course, you have no GPS.
Right.
Location.
Michael McReynolds, what's going on? So here's the thing. The Solo actually comes that way where it has an issue connecting. It was called the Revision A board, the Rev A board. And we found out that it was grounding out actually on copper plating that was underneath it. So if you do decide to do what you're saying, right, put I would say some aluminum foil behind it. right? But make sure that you put electrical tape over everything underneath it so that it can't ground out the connection with the aluminum foil. It's the same thing that we do with the Solo. So if you do it with a Solo and you put, aluminum foil, I cover the GPS board with electrical tape, and then I put aluminum foil and I cut it out to the whatever, and then I put it back down. Bam, instant satellites. Like it just simultaneously starts grabbing, satellites. And before it would take, dude, I'd be sitting out there for like 12 minutes. Like, come on, dude, how are we still sitting on
battery's dead by that point? Yeah.
Right. You're just killing battery now waiting on satellites. So I think you're probably right. I would address that by putting electrical tape on the back side of it and then putting a piece of aluminum and seeing where that takes you. There's a good idea.
There's much information out there about that. And I'm thinking, am I the only poor bastard that can't get
that's experiencing this?
Yeah. So somebody showed that they were running a third-party battery via connector via the Bebop, and if they extended it out, in other words, take it outside, take the hood off, extend the battery out so that the cable is extended all the way as tight as you can get it. Green GPS. Put it back in, GPS turns red. Take it out, extend that cable out. So the guy was thinking, he was an Italian guy, so he was kind of broken English. So the guy was thinking that maybe there's some kind of interference going on when that cable is, how the little umbilical cord that the Bebop one uses to connect to the battery.
It's kind of a weird setup.
I don't know, but he showed it. I mean, over and over and over. The minute he extended it out, the GPS would turn green. He would push it back in. It would go red again.
Any electrical field causes a electric or a magnetic field. So I mean, could be messing with the the GPS, I guess.
But the weird thing is, I could take off and just go have a cup of coffee. Just over there. I can take it out. I can go that one. I can go down 200 feet, right 200 feet, and come back to me, and no problem. I just don't have red. I only have a red GPS. Am I really completely out of GPS, or is it like for example, the Anafi, the Free Flight Pro 6, the new app that they just upgraded, will allow you to go. If you just click on the GPS indicator, it'll actually tell you where you are as far as satellites locked.
Right.
So it'll be red, but you have 6 satellites. It'll be orange, and you have 9. It'll be green, and you have 15. So it'll go from red to orange to green, and actually tell you the number of satellites that your drone is, locked up on. I'm wondering if the Bebop, even though it's red, because it's either red or green. There's no in between. You know what I mean? So, do you have some GPS connectivity or none? Is it none or some? You know what I mean?
So
it's red or green.
It's not telling you that you have any, though?
No, you can't look up. I don't think you can look up the number of satellites on a Bebop 1 or a Bebop 2.
I think it does. Oh, no, you're right. Down in the corner, it shows just green or red. You're right.
One of the third-party apps actually
should. I was going to say, if you run it on, what's that?
Free Flight.
Not Free Flight. Is it Free Flight Pro? No.
Yeah.
What the hell's the other one?
The AR something or other.
AR Pro 3, I think, does give you sat count.
And then Aruga or whatever the hell.
Yeah, I don't test that.
Arugula.
Actually, AR Pro 3 is still very stable for the Bebop 1. I prefer to use it over the Bebop or over Free Flight Pro any day. It also has a kill switch, which is super cool. That's something they don't offer you in the other one. Just in case, for whatever reason, you got to kill it, they give you a dead man switch. So that's a plus. But yeah, I think they do have satellite count on there, or you can go in the settings and actually have it put what it's receiving.
Well, I've tried to load that. I went ahead and purchased those 2 apps, and it won't show me anything. It just says you have no GPS and you should not be flying. So it will not show. Like, I could understand if I had partial, maybe just 4 or 5 satellites. Not quite what you need, but you're not, devoid of any connection at all. You know what I mean? So
sure,
it doesn't show you any kind of graduation from nothing to what they've deemed the proper number.
Well, look at it this way. If you do happen to solve it with aluminum foil, and then you're the first one to make the video.
Yeah. Better than what's available. What's available is like 3-4 years old, man. As old as the Bebop is old.
But God damn it keeps flying. Okay, so let's go into this deeper, because the Bebop one has been successfully getting better and better as people try things. People are switching out the connections now for XT60 connections, or I'm sorry, XT30 connections and Dean's T connectors. And they're actually able to plug in regular standard 3S LiPo batteries that are longer, right? That are much longer, that actually go all the way to the end of the drone and clip in, instead of, you know, the one that comes in the battery pack. So they're actually getting like 15 and 17-minute flight times now, every single use out of the Bebop one, which I would say is pretty fantastic. You know, if you're getting that kind of use, it's become a regular drone now. It's a decent setup. You know what I mean? So if you buy one for $99, or let's say you get the Sky, what's that?
You're wrong, Dan.
What?
I got one. I'm about to buy it. That close. $79 new, sealed in box. There's 5 left.
Wow, you gotta send me a link.
The red one, yeah.
I'm gonna sell my left testicle.
New, sealed in box on eBay.
Wow, does that come with the Bebop?
I'll not even tell you where. You can find it. Yeah.
Does that come with a Sky controller, or no? Just the Bebop.
It's just the regular box, but original battery. They warn you that you need to revive the battery. You know, like rekindle it.
That's what's fun about. So anyways, what got me thinking was we just came up with lids for the Solo, for the battery mod. What's to say we couldn't do that for the Bebop one, but make it completely hollow so that you can put these extended batteries in there and still keep that aesthetically pleasing look.
They have that board that you're saving from your 3DR Solo batteries, the Bebop, the original Parrot batteries. Do they come with an internal balance charger circuitry? Balance charging? I
don't think so. I've taken one apart before, and I guess it did. It had a little tiny board. Yeah. I don't think it communicates how you think it does, though. I think it's only reading percentage, and that's it. There's no voltage. Yeah. There's no smart battery. There's no like, hey, you better bring it back or it's gonna fail. You know, none of that. It's just percentage, I think, is all you're getting.
That's true. Yeah.
Mama needs to turn on his. Oh, dude, you hydroponic genius, you.
Look at that. Damn.
I'd leave you in some suspense for a little minute, you know.
You're leaving us in suspense. Jeez.
It is I said the blind man.
I said it's the real life Morpheus.
All right, thank you. Appreciate
it. Yes, Mel.
How's everything with you folks?
Oh, do you still have the glasses I gave you?
Yes, I do. I was looking for them. I was looking for them. I put them in one of my drawers. I didn't get rid of those.
Oh my God! I sent him the Morpheus glasses. I had to. I was like, you have to wear these during your streams.
Don't worry. I got to do it the right way though, because I got to get the other stuff. You know, now I got to get it like a trench coat and all that other crazy stuff. And
remember, shiny leather.
Shiny leather. But how you folks doing though? What's going on, Jose? What's going on, Steve?
Hello, Mela. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here with you folks. I don't know anything about drones, just that they fly, you know.
And
then you're on the same level as all of us, except for Dan.
Yeah.
He found out they don't fly too well when battery voltage drops to almost zero.
No.
I saw that video. I saw a couple of those.
I almost reached out to Duracell. I was like, "Yo, didn't you build this battery? Your Energizer. Didn't you build this battery? Your bunny failed." I almost. Oh my gosh!
The rabbit opening up a hole in the floor that just opens up and then the rabbit disappears.
Right. Just disappears.
So did you dismantle that battery to see what cell blew
up?
Oh
yeah, I got it here in front of me actually. Well, it's not in front of me, but I got it over here. It's the one that still has the BMS in it. Is this it? Yep, here it is. All right, so you can see that the top cell started to fail. See how it's getting puffy? It basically expanded. It's pushed down on the bottom and the top now, so it started expanding like that. This cell just popped. You can see a big crease in the top of it. See it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, big old internal pop on the inside of this one.
3 or 4?
What's that? This is a 4S. It's a 5200 mAh 4S. So yeah, it popped like a zit.
So for the people that don't understand it, what is the importance of battery life to droning? To when you're flying drones and operating drones, for those of us that don't know.
Well, I think the first thing to take into consideration is LiPo care. LiPo batteries are extremely dangerous. Lithium polymer batteries are really dangerous. You should never leave them fully charged unless you plan on going to fly. If you don't, then you need to discharge your batteries, first of all. Number one, leaving them fully charged for more than like 48 hours will start to hurt the cells. They'll start to degrade really quickly. It's really bad for the batteries, honestly. You're basically killing the longevity of the life of the battery. That's what you're doing. Every time you charge up your drone battery and you don't take it out and fly it and you just let it sit there and come off its own charge or just sit there fully charged, you're killing the battery. It is like the worst possible thing you can do to a LiPo battery. All right, so now that that's out of the way, LiPo care. Always leave your batteries. They're all 3.7 volts unless they're a high capacity battery. Go ahead, Mel.
I hate to say it, when you say lipo, I'm thinking of plastic surgery or something.
Lithium polymer.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
I just heard lipo, and I'm thinking
right. Yeah, lithium polymer batteries. There's a couple different kinds. You got what NIMH is not a lithium polymer. NiCad. You got standard SLA, sealed lead acid batteries. Your car runs on an SLA. That's normally AMG. What is it? Advanced matte glass battery or something like that. Auto matte glass battery. AGM, that's like deep cycle batteries for marine use and trolling motors. And so there's all different types of batteries out there, obviously. Alkaline, so on and so forth. But I think most RC vehicles at this point are using LiPo because their discharge output is so insane. Like they're about as powerful as nitro, honestly.
Wow,
you can you can build, like, have you ever seen an X-Max running like an 8S setup? Like no. eight cells, that's what an 8S is. So you got like 4 and 4. So you got a 4S and a 4S, and then you combine it in the center and you make an 8S battery, right? It's kind of how that works. But 8 cells at 100 C discharge rating is like insanity. It's absolute insanity, man.
It sounds like it. I mean, why isn't this stressed more? Like, why? I mean, do you think companies are deliberately trying to do this to get people to buy more batteries?
No, I just think they're to get that kind of power output, you have to like mess with the volatility of batteries. Like, it's just part of it, man. It's something that we've all come to understand. Take proper LiPo care is everything when it comes to this hobby. We've seen houses burn down because of LiPo batteries.
And I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, see, okay, I see you guys.
LiPo bags.
Yeah. So I use ammo cases that are not rubber sealed because that's how you build up pressure and then they explode and become a bomb. So, if you do happen to use
that too loud on here, just in case. FCC,
yeah, well,
Alphabet Boys, FBI, CIA. I don't want to,
I'm already being watched by the FAA. Come on with it.
Yeah. Just in case.
But I'm just saying, like, realistically, that's why we don't leave the seals in those. You never want to put a battery where it can contain pressure. You know what I'm saying? When you do that, it's just bad news if it does decide to go up. So, I think
that would be the case.
Yeah. Well, this is for everybody else now. You did ask, the question. So we're putting it all out there on the table today.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. Jose, Mel is quick today, man. He's on his guns. I like it. Now we said bomb and guns in the same stream. We're done, gentlemen.
Last time I flew, going through TSA, one of the supervisors there, he saw my case. I opened it up and the batteries in the case, and he came up and he says, "You know what? Thank you very much for making sure that those batteries were in, cases."
Right.
Even though they're not really required, some airlines are starting to officially require it. But, because they go in your passenger compartment. You can't put them in storage when you fly. he came up and thanked me. I thought that was really a nice thing for him to do.
Yeah.
You know, at least they're becoming more aware of what it is and what can be done. And I said, I wouldn't get on a jet with it flying without it. You know, that's
yeah. What are the? Oops, sorry, Mel. Go ahead.
No. I was saying that's good to know. It's good to know because there's always, you know, better safe than sorry. You know.
I forget what you're allowed to take on battery-wise when it comes to jets. Now, you can't have the batteries. Don't they have to be brought on as carry-on, and they can't be over a certain mall rating?
You supposedly can have one on your drone,
Okay.
and then 2 extra ones, but they have to have caps on the connector ends.
Okay.
That could be in a nice little case, you know. That's
now.
fine.
I believe there was a mall
3
capacity.
total.
Yeah. I think there was a mall capacity rating you weren't allowed to bring. Like if you wanted to bring anything over a certain size, you have to have it shipped to
But
the
you
area.
know, like for bebops and things like that, nah. Or small Mavics,
Mm-hmm.
no.
I'll see if I can't bring up the sheet if I can't find it here while the show's going on. I have a sheet that gives it out by amp hour rating of what you're allowed. So max total per person.
Right. Good questions, Mel. For not being a drone guy, you are assertive, sir. Keep it moving forward.
I could move any different way with that one, but thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You should watch some of the LiPo fail videos on YouTube.
I'm gonna have to check them out.
They're fun.
You know.
And some of them are from idiots that decided to drive a nail.
Oh yeah, well,
4S battery, fully charged, and just see what happens.
I do that. Actually, I have one of those to do later. I was getting ready to put this on my battery mod, and one of the tines came off, and there was no fixing this. Every time I try to even put it back in there, it pops and it cracks, and this is not good. Not good. This is almost fully charged. This is a 4S. This is going to go up like a cannon. This is going to be pretty intense when this thing goes up.
Yeah,
which reminds me, I still have a unique Q500 battery out in the bucket of salt water outside.
Oh, I was going to say, put a drill through it.
It's about that big.
I'm considering putting this one down with my CO2 powered 357 powered BB gun.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, it has the same muzzle velocity as a 38 Special. It runs on 2 CO2 canisters, so it should make quite a fun poof.
And you talk about me with the guns, the 38 Special, right? Look at you.
Hey man, we're just we're putting it on the table, right?
No, just in case anybody's listening, he's talking about ice cream.
Yeah.
38 Special ice cream.
There you go. Yeah, this was a cheap battery. I was actually kind of mad about this battery. This just the way they did this is not good. They really needed to.
What is the perfect battery to you? What do you feel is the perfect battery?
Well, not one that looks like this. Look at their crappy look at the end of this thing, man. This is really like horrible, honestly. They got hot glue in here to hold it together. Who would put hot glue on battery posts that get hot?
Maybe somebody who's into
a genius.
Genius.
A genius. Yes.
I started looking at it the other day. I was like, huh.
My first exposure to a LiPo battery, I was like, what the hell is this? How is this safe? It's just the lithium polymer wrapped up in plastic, basically. No, actually, no. Isn't it like a metal foil of some sort?
Should be.
Plastic, yeah.
Have you ever opened it up? There's plastic inside, and what's really cool is if you pull a battery off of the charger, right after you finish charging it, giving it a full LiPo charge, and you open it up, it just peel back the corner of one of the pieces of aluminum and open it up, look at the plastic. You can see bubbles just going haywire, they're all over inside of there, just going nuts. And it'll do that for as long as it stays fully charged. I didn't realize there was so much energy circulating inside one of those batteries. Well, now you know why when you pop it, it's like, oh, oxygen, yay.
Yeah.
There's just so much energy inside those batteries, man.
How is that legal?
What's that?
How is that legal?
Well, that's why it's become harder to ship batteries now that are LiPo, and there's all sorts.
Ground services only.
Do you guys remember that UPS truck about 3 months ago that had a LiPo fire and the whole truck burned down to the ground?
You got to have like all sorts of labels on your box and
warning contains lithium polymer.
And it takes a week and a half to get to you because it's got to go by ground every single stop all along the way, and they got to check it, and they got
Tater, why don't you come in here, man? Come on in, Tater.
Unless you buy them from China, then they send them every which way. They not even labeled.
Yeah, they don't care. When I got that was a Chinese battery. When that came in, man, I was like, there's not even a LiPo warning on this box. This thing could have been getting crunched and beat up and all sorts of craziness.
I saw some CCTV video of a shop, and the guy steps out just to get something, and all of a sudden, from one of the corner on the bench, it just started, and it just burns. How would you describe that kind of fire, Dan? I mean, it's just kind of a...
Well, at night,
magnesium burning, and even underwater, it'll keep on burning.
Yep. At night, it's green, orange, blue, and purple flames on a LiPo battery. I will. I'll see if I can actually show that one of these nights. I'll go ahead and pop a LiPo on full. I got a couple. I still got it. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 4S batteries.
Now you're making it sound like a drug. You said I'm gonna go pop a LiPo or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna exactly. Daniel, can you give me a shout out, please? Cherry Pie, I don't know who you are. Who are you? You said your name is Jesse. Who's Jesse? Jesse, you got to make yourself known in here, man, or girl, or hello. Where did you come from, Jesse?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cherry Pie. Go where you will with that.
That's why I said when I see Cherry Pie, I'm like,
go where you will with that.
All right.
Just be careful of the new YouTube Kids policy, though.
Dan, I have a question that will start a discussion, I'm sure. You had a video or a live stream where you were tuning
a gimbal
sort of program, and you were with someone, I forget who it was, who seemed to know, what the hell they were talking about. Well, were you tuning your gimbal for your 3DR Solo? Is that what it was? Or
yes, yeah, that was I think I was talking to Jim from.
I noticed you were talking about axes. Did you ever get that to work smoothly? Because I saw some slight.
Oh, Jesse Creech, what is going on, bro? That is a really interesting name to have on YouTube, my friend. Okay, I do know who that is. Jesse's cool. If you guys subscribe to him, he's really fun. I'm sure he'll have some new RC products coming to the channel. You caught me off guard there, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like Jesse who? Minister of Memes. Wow. Okay, so you were asking about that program. That is the B2. It's actually a Basecam GUI program. Okay. And it is the BGC B2B2B software.
Yes, I'm gonna remember that.
It was really hard to honestly track.
There'll be a quiz at the end, Mel.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm go back to the beginning. I have no idea what it was either. You just had me so intrigued. I was watching this, and my wife says, "What are you watching Dan again?" I said, "Of course." And what are they talking about? She says, "I have no clue." You're watching.
It's a fun program if you know what you're doing. I kind of threw myself into the mix because I'd never really tuned a gimbal before, so I spent weeks tracking down the proper. There's no information when you get this thing. It's like just connect it to battery power and hook up the roll and pitch, and I was like, cool. And I did, and then I took it for a flight, and it was all jerky, and the camera was all over the place, but it was stabilizing, but it just didn't look very smooth. And I was like, huh. And then it said for any modifications or upgrades to the gimbal, please check out Basecam at the bottom of the paperwork. And I was like, okay, Basecam. And I pulled it up, and I was like, oh my God, there's like 5,000 different types of software. How many different drivers are there? Holy Christ. So I was like, oh boy, I'm never going to find, there's not enough information here. So I went on YouTube and I typed in Basecam 1.0 board servicing or, tuning. And there was a guy on there that showed a whole guide. and how to do it. It was like 4 years ago, and I was like, sweet. So I followed his directions, downloaded all the proper stuff, and sure enough, man, once I got everything up and going, it was easy to connect and get connected to it and, properly tune it. So I don't advise everybody goes through that again. What I am going to do now is simplify this and make this easier for people to do when the time comes. The next gimbal I ordered is also a Basecamp. Go ahead. You're good.
No, it's a spammer.
Oh.
Let my wife answer. So the guy that was with you, is that the guy that did that video initially?
No. That was just Jim. But he is very into open source like I am. So I'm going to say Jim probably knows more than I do. He dabbles with like the Ronin and a lot of big drones I've never had an opportunity to put my hands on. So
he was getting a little antsy there for a few. You're tilted sideways, Mel. There you go. All righty. He's got it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Nope. No audio. Nope. You broke it, dude.
When he comes back on, I want to share what happened to me with the Bebop 2. And something that was, again, silly, my mistake. And I don't know whether how you connect. You have a Bebop 2 as well?
Oh, yeah.
So do you connect via USB your phone to your Sky Controller 2, right?
I prefer the Sky Controller 1 to the Sky Controller 2. So I sold my Sky Controller 2.
Yeah. I use a small Sky Controller 2, not the big black one. Okay.
That's the Sky Controller 1. I like the big black one.
So until now, every single time I fly that Bebop 2, I got 2 of them, by the way. So either one, connect via USB, set my phone to airplane mode, and I turn off Wi-Fi on my phone. So the controller is connected, is communicating with the drone, and the phone is connected via USB to the phone, so I can see what the heck my camera is seeing. I neglected to do that the other day. I was shooting a gorgeous stormy sunset. And I climb up, and all of a sudden, my phone made that little jingle when I get a message or a phone call or whatever. My FreeFlight Pro software went from the full view to as if I had hit the get out arrow. And the drone tried to come home. Of course, wires everywhere in my street. And luckily, it just stood there for a while, and I was able to bring it down by itself. I did that again. I forgot that I had not set it on airplane mode. Again, I brought it down. Thank my, lucky stars that I brought it down. I didn't crash into something or anyone or anybody's home. And I forgot to do this. I went ahead and did that. Flawless flight after that.
Yeah. I've never had a real issue with my Bebop 2, man. It always goes out, comes back. Even when it disconnects. Hell, I've flown the Bebop 2 3 miles out, I think. I think we oops, I didn't say that live. But
say what? What did you say?
I don't know what you're talking about.
My audio went dead. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Steve, did you hear anything?
Telstra.
Something.
Didn't hear a word.
Damn Telstra.
Hello. Testing.
Greg.
No, man, I've never really had a problem. Even with airplane mode on or off, it doesn't seem to affect it. Bluetooth, nothing. I don't know. I've never had a real issue with my Bebop 2.
I don't want to say it was a Bebop's fault. I want to say that it was just something stupid that I forgot to do. Usually that's the case in most cases when
we got to hear Mitch.
It wasn't your 3DR Solo's fault that the battery blew up. I mean,
Yeah. No,
you can't blame the drone. I mean, half the time it's you.
That's what I kept telling everybody. I'm like, it's not the drone's fault. It wasn't pilot error. I mean, it was because I should have been flying one of my home built packs, and I knew that.
Yeah, but you kind of knew that, and
I got excited for the flight because I had already taken it out. You guys didn't see the whole flight. I only showed part of it. I already went out like 4,000 feet that way, and then came back around the backside of my neighborhood and came back, and it was a good flight. But then when I came back, I was like, I'm at 15.7 volts. I mean, I don't have to land till 14. So heck, I got plenty of battery. I started punching it backwards, and it just, I think I was at 83% after that flight. And I started going backwards, and I was like, oh, this is great. And I looked at the voltage. I'm like, it's hanging in there. Everything's gravy. So I gave her a little more throttle going across the road. I was trying to speed it up a little bit more. And as soon as I did that, it bit the dirt hard, man. I watched it go too. I was like, oh, that looked like a stumble. And I started to let out, but it was too late. The cell had already popped, So once it used that extra voltage, all of a sudden it just went zero out and the drone shut down.
Good that happened, because if we had not stressed it enough to cause that to happen, you would have gotten back and
sure.
Of it.
Exactly.
It happened anyway at some point. Yeah.
So it was an interesting crash, man. It was probably one of the best reveal shots I have ever performed. And it sucks that it ended on such a crummy note.
I like the fact that neighbor of yours that didn't even know you was so nice about it.
He was super cool.
A lot of people will just.
What the hell's in my backyard?
I got a guy from Australia that's the biggest a-hole.
Really?
Whenever I post I have maybe 35 videos about drones. I have a playlist just for drones, and he'll, watching the neighbors, sunbathing again. Oh, if the FBI comes over, well, you're gonna go down, boy. Stop that shit, drone policeman. You're nothing. You're in Australia. Who gives a shit?
Well, it was like everybody with everybody, Jose, with my crash. There were a bunch of people that were like, oh, I'm disappointed in you, and you could have really hurt somebody's property or somebody. And I said, listen, there's nothing illegal about the flight that I made. Nothing. As long as I'm not hovering over somebody's house, then there was nothing illegal about it. I could fly my whole damn neighborhood if I want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing illegal. I just can't fly over moving traffic or people. So when you see me fly, normally you'll see me stick to the roads or something like that. If a car comes, I'll move off to the right a little bit, let them go by, and then back out into the road. These are things you can do to be a good pilot. But all I did was cross the road, which there was no traffic coming, right? Yeah. I went close to my neighbor's car, close to his house. That's the idea of a reveal shot. Make it look, oh, wow. That was, I want the wow factor. That's what it's for. That's the type of cinematography shot that you're going for, is the wow factor. Yeah. So, I decided to give her a little bit more, trying to pass that tree. I wanted to really punch it and go screaming past those branches, and it just couldn't handle it. But everybody was like, oh, that's so illegal, and you're doing all this. It's not illegal. Let's put that to rest right now. It is not illegal to fly in your neighborhood. You just can't hover. There's no altitude limit that you have to be stressed about, all right? Just you can't hover, all right? You don't want to hover over somebody's house unless it's your own. That can be construed as private.
Down on them,
right. If you're just staring at some lady tanning in her backyard, well, then you're asking for problems.
Yeah.
But if you're just flying around your neighborhood, there is nothing illegal about it. So for the people that are like, Mel explained. Mel, we went over it. I got my wow factor, says Mel. And I did check in with Mel on that. I thought at first I had to be 200 feet, or you had to be flying up to 200 feet. And then once you reach it, you can fly wherever you want. I always thought that was the case, but Mel corrected me on that. So Mel says nothing wrong, just don't hover.
I
was illegal about the flight.
I forgot all about that conversation, to be honest with you.
What's that?
I forgot all about that conversation.
Not you. I'm talking about Mel. There's two Mels in here right now. There's you. Yeah. There's Mel 400 AGL.
Okay, I thought you were talking about me. I'm like I said, when did we have this conversation?
No. Yeah.
I took the Anafi. I got one. Really good buy, brand spanking new, man. From just an individual seller. Mm-hmm. Not even a company. Took it up at the end of I live in a dead end street, 2-lane wide, big space. There's like condos behind me and then individual homes. Took it straight up. I said that I was testing the geofence, how it works and whether it's accurate. So took it up, set it to 35 feet and 35 out. That's all it was. It climbed up. When I saw 35 feet on my app, it stopped climbing. Boom. Dead on. And I brought it back down and I increased it to 135 feet. And it went up to about 120 something feet and it stopped. I said, okay, accurate enough. That's all it was. I got this a-hole from the UK oh, I don't know about the laws in the U.S., but in the UK, you can't do that. And I'm thinking, F you. I mean, you know, first of all, thank you for the view, because obviously you enjoyed it and gave me one more view. Yeah, but you're not the drone police. You don't, stick to your laws. Canadian laws are even worse. Here in the U.S. is still not as bad. So, keep your.
Well,
they can't say anything about the flight, about the drone, about the video quality, about this, something pertaining to what the video was about. They got to jump in and try to, impose their view or something.
mm-hmm. I think Mel hit the head. Not Mel and 400 AGL. We got to do it this way. I got to call you Mel.
Mel 1, Mel 2.
And I got to call him 400 AGL so that we don't get confused. 400 AGL, I think, hit the nail on the head the other day with a stream. He said, we all need to police ourselves. You don't need to police other people. Just police yourself.
Yeah.
If you have something I would say, though.
Right. If you have well, there you go. Then you and Mel would get along just fine. But, it's fine to say something to the person, like I said. But if they choose not to listen, that's on them. It's not up to you to prove anything to them. You know what I'm saying? If they choose not to take your advice, or they choose not to, whatever. Okay, fine. You'll find out the hard way. That's on you. You're just making it harder for everybody else in the hobby. Yeah. Police yourselves. You guys know the difference between right and wrong. You know what you should do and what you shouldn't do. You know when there's a time and a place to do things that are up to you, but at the same time, you're not publicly sharing these things with people. And if you are, well, then you're asking for problems. Just police yourselves. It's really easy.
But how does one police themselves?
Well, do you know the difference between right and wrong, Mel?
It depends on what I had to drink that night.
Well, then, hey.
I love that one.
Or the night before?
Yeah. Hangovers are a bitch. I tell you. They make you do things you normally wouldn't do.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd hope all of you are making smart decisions after you've had a few to kick back. I remember a few nights when I didn't make smart decisions on YouTube streams after having a few. Yeah, the thumbtack night was interesting. That was one I'll never forget.
Cool. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay. Were you in there for the thumbtack stream, Mel?
I might have been in and out, but I saw a stream where you had a couple of beverages.
Yeah. But so let me just give everybody a piece of advice. Don't swallow a thumbtack while drinking. It's not intelligent. Your insides pay the price.
I know I was there for the stream afterwards.
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. I was picking my teeth with it because I was drunk, and I don't know what. Now I keep toothpicks by. I'm sure this is gonna be a lot harder to swallow one of these than a. I put this in my mouth and start hacking. Something's wrong. But I don't know. I was thinking. I put it in my mouth, and I just went, and I swallowed, and I was like, oh. And then I looked at the screen, and Bob goes, "Did you just swallow a thumbtack?" I was like, I think I did.
That's gonna hurt coming out.
I didn't even think about it. I just did it. It was like, oops, okay.
That's gonna hurt. Oh, how did you do after your ramen challenge?
Man, yeah, it was a little painful the next day. Actually, I paid for it for about 4 days, man. I think things were really upset in my lower abdomen. I ended up drinking broth for 2 days after.
You said you're going to order the even hotter.
The even hotter ones, man. I feel like I got to conquer those too.
Someone's going to earn that challenge. If you're helping some other channel out, they're going to have to really work hard for you to be able to maybe 50 subscribers instead of just 25. Yeah, you got to go up a little higher than that. Yeah.
Chris and Crystal actually.
They live just in the shore here where I live.
Oh, Chris and Crystal?
Yeah, they're in the Eastern Shore.
Why don't you go fly with them? They're awesome people. Yeah. Did you see the video they made yesterday?
No, I did not.
They made a video for me, and Chris 3D printed those cases that I wanted printed, the STL files.
Yeah.
But on top of that, he's sending me a Solo with it, and some new leg extenders. So yeah, I mean and these, like I said, I did this stream for him, and they said
that's quite a wall back there.
He does have quite a wall back there.
Let me show you what I did the other day, and I got a guy who's an ex-Marine, and he flies Phantom Force, and always getting on my case about not going to DJI, joining the dark side, if you will. And so I decided to take the Anafi up at the end of my street, just looking up toward the top of the hill, and I took a DNG file, which is a raw file. So when you shoot raw with that particular camera, unlike video, which does not utilize the whole sensor, okay, because video is only 30 something 100 by 20 something, and you got a 21 megapixel sensor. So when you shoot the DNG file, it gives you like a 4:3 ratio file. So it's not going to be that rectangular 16 by 9 type format or 3:2. This is what I got, and I printed it. I printed this. I did a video on it. So this is
Wow.
I don't know if you can see.
No, we can see. We can see.
Let me stand up here.
That's a beautiful picture.
You're not going to be able to see it, but you can count every brick on those houses there. You can see the word "stop" at the top of the street on the sign. The detail is tremendous. So now I got this guy wishing to take his camera up, and he took his Phantom up today, and he said, "My results sucked." I had to laugh. I'm going to help him out, but I had to laugh because this is the Anafi versus the Phantom 4 with the 1-inch sensor. This sensor is about a smidgen larger than the DJI Mavic Air.
Just for the record,
And Dan will
you're not
know,
sponsored by them, are you?
Yeah, so the sensor on this camera is just a little bit bigger area-wise.
Did
21 megapixel.
you hear what he said, Jose?
No, I did not.
Go ahead again, Mel.
I was gonna say, just for the record, you're not sponsored by this company, are you?
Oh, you totally breaking up. I cannot see. I gotta.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but barely.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Radio check. All right, got you. All right. Can you? Are you not sponsored by this company that you're talking about?
No, of course not. I wish.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, no.
All right, check this out. Boom.
Myself.
Yeah, I got that shot, and this is where I say the only thing the Breeze did good was the camera.
Yeah.
That is a full-fledged rainbow from start to finish all the way across.
Nice.
And that's Tampa, and the amount of detail, I know it's my screensaver or background, but the amount of detail is actually crazy when I zoomed in. I can physically see the breaks and stuff in the road, and like it actually takes really high format photos. But yeah. I wanted to ask you, this was letting the camera do its own thing. What is really the difference between DNG? Because I'm not a camera guy, really.
Yeah, DNG is raw format. So basically what happens when you shoot to JPEG, there's a lot of internal processing that takes place where they take the DNG is just the raw information that the sensor generates. So it does not get converted in any way, shape, or form. You just get the information, and then when you look at it through a raw file viewer, it takes that data and then translates it into something visible you see on your screen. But it's unprocessed. You have to then process that image for color, balance, contrast, brightness, whatever you want to do to edit it, to enhance it.
So that's really what it is then for color grading. That way you can get the best possible picture.
It's like P-log. It's like P-log on some cameras, some aerial cameras. P-log is just a flat profile,
right?
Enhanced by the internal processing system at all. So you get what the sensor. So the idea behind that is that you're going to get dynamic range that may exceed the actual dynamic range of the scene you're shooting. Okay. And that's what you want. You want to be able to exceed the actual dynamic range visually that you have. That way you can then, what I do in my video editing software or camera or still image, is I then figure out on the histogram is just It looks, in fact, on some of your applications for drone flying, you may have a histogram. It shows you on the left, it will be totally black. On the right will be totally white. And then you have little vertical lines that show you where the tonal range of that scene sits. You want it to extend all the way to the left and all the way to the right. Okay. Often when you shoot P-Log, it'll be very kind of compressed. And that allows you the freedom to expand that either way you want. JPEG, no. JPEG is already processed for you. They did that for you. There's no way that you can extract any shadow detail or highlight detail because it's gone. It was dumped. It was dumped off that left edge. Think of it as a cliff. All of that detail that you could have expanded into is gone.
Yeah.
Same thing on the highlight side. That's gone. What you end up is about 1/10 of the file size. The resolution stays the same, but the file size is just so small. All the information is gone. Back at you.
Carlitos, what's up, man?
¿Cómo está, man?
Who is this man?
Drop by to say hello to Mr. Drone Worship and check out on his nuggets. He looks better. Well, I don't know about looks better, but you seem like you feel better. I'm just messing with you. Just messing with you.
He got that haircut, man. He's handsome as hell now. Look at him. I mean, come on. Yeah, show it, man.
All right, let me know. Tell me about yourself, Worship. How you doing?
Jose, that was a good explanation for everybody to understand the difference between raw and shooting. I mean, like on my 35 millimeter, everything shot in raw, everything on this thing, because it gives you full extent of what you're going to do with that image when you get it. But like you're saying, you will chew up a lot of data real quick on your card.
You see that sky? Dan, you see those clouds? When I shot it, it indicated it as being overexposed. In other words, I was getting the little zebra marks.
Right.
Yeah.
And I shot on auto. I didn't even adjust exposure whatsoever. But when it's raw, you can actually bring that down. You can bring it back. In other words, if a wall on the right is the limit and that data, extended beyond that wall, you can bring it back inside. If it's JPEG, you cannot. It's gone. So you actually get more pictorial detail as far as dynamic range goes than you can actually see on your monitor. And you can drag that back in. You can recompress anything that's beyond. Like I can have shadows that look black initially. And when I bring out that slider to the right, I all of a sudden see detail in the shadows that would normally be jet black. We call that 000 in photography. And 255 times 3 is the brightest highlight you can possibly record. So you want to have everything within that from 0 to 255. And you see that on your histogram. If you have a histogram in your display, the Anafi surprisingly does. I was shocked that it has so many features that you would only see in DJI. So DJI is becoming pretty jealous, I think, of the Anafi. The Anafi is kicking ass, I'm telling you. It kicks butt as far as the video results you get and the photos that you get with it. This guy with the Phantom 4, he's a really experienced flyer. He's getting crap. I don't understand why.
What about audio? Does it pick up audio?
What's that? Oh, yeah. No.
I'll be right back, guys.
No audio. Yeah.
Okay.
You mean while flying?
Yeah, while flying.
No. You would get nothing but noise from your propellers. The thing is, it's a super quiet drone. I mean, it's got wings it reminds me of a dragonfly. The propellers, they're so well designed and so thin and so flexible that it takes off. And once you're like 10 feet up, it's no noise.
Why?
It's really disconcerting. It really is.
You guys already talked about the new app that they have with the Parrot Anafi, and
I did install it. Yeah, I installed it. Upgraded the controller and the drone, and saw quite a number of new things. And
is it the same Parrot Anafi?
It's the same original one. Yeah. Let me.
The only thing that changes the app.
What's that?
The only thing that changed was the app.
At this point, yeah, but there's. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. How are you, Mr. Steve Carpenter?
Carlos, I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
So far, so good. Can't complain. Keeping
Good.
busy. Flying my my little quads. Gave up all the DJI quads.
Yeah, I've noticed. I've seen you on several different shows and seeing all your little hot rods that you got over there, your FPVs.
Yeah, that's it. Done. No more. No more. What do they call that? No more updates for me.
Completely
Done.
to the dark side.
Yeah, it's fun though. I'm having a lot of fun. Who's the gentleman underneath you? I
Oh,
can't see the
Mel.
names.
Oh,
You're
Mel.
so
Yeah,
small.
Mel. It's just Mel.
Mel, hi Mel.
Hey, what's going on with you now?
Carlos from New York, Queens, New York.
Oh, actually, I'm from Brooklyn.
Hey, there you go.
Carlos,
Yeah.
you Puerto Rican, man?
I am, but I'm a New Yorican, Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican's here. That's it. We're taking over.
That's funny.
Well, within reason. Anyway, let's hear about that Anafi.
Now, let me tell you what the difference will be with the thermal body. The body for the thermal, it's a dual camera, Anafi version that came out recently. And then the Anafi FPV, which is coming out, if not already out. It's about $700. That's what it'll cost you.
Oh, so it is an actual different drone.
Yeah, it's not completely. Only the arms. The arms have been redesigned. You see the way the leg extends beyond the motor axis or the pod?
I can't, but I believe you. Only because I don't know what happened to Dan. He should be here to,
Here's
conduct some business.
Right there. The leg
Hold on.
out. Can you see that at all?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Now a little bit.
The new look at how flexible this is.
Oh wow.
Okay. So that's good and bad. I mean, if it crashes, it's just gonna flex.
Well, that's good.
That's what they were hoping back then. But the new one, the new body, is a lot stiffer, and they moved this right directly under the motor pod.
You're talking about the thermal, right?
Yeah, the thermal and the FPV. What you get with the FPV bundle will be the thermal body without the thermal camera, just the regular camera. But it'll be the upgraded body. So this right now, this is the original. This is very flimsy. Look at that.
Yeah.
See that?
I wonder how much torque loss there is on that with those rotors spinning. I wonder if there is any.
It comes down. I mean, I brought down the Bebop 2 a little bit too quick the other day. And Dan, I flew my Typhoon Q500. I dusted it off, took it out for a flight. I came down a little bit too fast, and I started to lose the grip, if you will, and came down a little bit hard. It bounced off and took right back up. Yeah, you can't get caught in that prop wash.
Well,
this thing just drops like that.
There have been some major improvements with drones lately. I've noticed that VRS is kind of a thing of the past. When they first came out and they all were set up like DJI platform, like the Phantoms and stuff, if you overloaded the weight of the bird, that's when it would be a lot easier to hit VRS. Not to say it can't plague it today still, but it's a lot less likely it's going to happen to your drone today.
What is VRS? What is VRS?
Vortex ring state. A helicopter pilot would know it as what's called settling the power. Okay. But it plagues drones. It's basically when a drone is coming down too fast and it's too heavy for itself for the props that you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can't slow its descent enough that it starts to wobble. We call that wobbling, right? This is the first stages of VRS coming into play, is when your drone starts to wobble on the way down. Okay. If it gets too bad and one side drops faster than the other, it'll fall into air. It's already turbulated, right? And it'll cause it to free fall right to the ground, smack, no matter what you do. The only way to get out of it is to give it directional pitch, forward, backward, left, right.
When you come down, you need to do this.
So, yeah, whenever you're coming down
on that vortex.
All right. You always want to come down at an angle back towards yourself, or you never want to just straight descend with a heavy bird. That's how you cause VRS.
Remember on a fish tank, you got that little aerator that blows bubbles.
That's what I do for a living.
A gigantic one and put it underwater and put your boat on top of it and start the aeration, your boat will sink.
Oh wow.
The boat will sink. It has nothing to float on. When you have when you dive into your own vortex, the waters have nothing to grip, nothing to,
that makes sense.
Put it in layman's term. There's no air to grip on.
Right.
So it's gonna
fall.
This thing just drops.
Hey Dan, I finally found that battery chart for the FAA. I just posted the link so anybody can go on there. It's a PDF file.
Okay.
And that will tell you the battery limitations for carrying on board any flight.
And that's U.S.
Huh?
That's U.S. based only.
Internet. Well, it's FAA, but most international airlines accept it.
Right.
Okay.
You'll just have to check with the international provider, but just about everyone.
I have a question for Mr. Mel. Where and what do you fly, Mel?
Nothing. I'm just here as a spectator and
you're just hanging out. You fly paper airplanes?
Sometimes.
Mel is hooked. Mel, you're hooked, right, brother?
So what now?
I said he flies to the fridge when he's hungry.
There you go. There you go.
And where does Jose come from?
Yeah, I was calling.
Where are you located, Jose?
I'm in
Maryland, just north of Washington.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's where Chris, MD 95 TSI. Never heard of him. He's from Maryland.
Mike, the Drone Ranger, is from Northern Virginia, and we're going to hook up and do a little flying. He's going to find a couple of places for us to go to.
Yeah, Jose, we were actually talking about Chris and Crystal earlier. That's who he's talking about.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
The Drone Network. Yeah, he's talking about
they're out in the ocean. Yeah.
Check it out, Mel. This is I just made it now. A piece of paper. A little helicopter. And you drop
GPS.
That's funny.
When I was a kid, I used to throw these out of the apartment window and watch them go down. You know, when you're poor, you have to make your own toys.
There you go. I remember that.
Many moons ago, they had this like a stick with a rubber band, and you put one of these, but a hard one, and you throw it up in the air.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And they come down.
For money.
Those just became really popular here in Florida. They're stupid. They have LEDs on them now, and the kids will be out in the field.
Yeah. You've seen the commercials for those.
Yeah, those are coming back for real.
Yeah, bro, big time. Big. The dollar store sells them now, so every kid in the world has one.
It's fun.
So, hey, Dan, you were out when I was telling the guys about the new design for the upgrade.
That's the Hudson.
Yeah. No.
Okay, Parrot. Yeah, no.
So, look at these legs.
There you go. Now we can see.
Yeah. So that can be good and bad. I mean, you hit something and it just flexes. But, the thermal, they strengthen the hell out of those legs. And they move this leg portion right underneath the motor pod. Okay.
Didn't they do the same thing with the FPV version?
Yes, exactly the same body, just the camera differently.
But how much pressure do you need before the legs actually begin to break?
I don't know.
Let's test that right now, Jose.
Yeah, sure. But you know what? After they did all of that redesigning, it added about 3 grams to the total weight, which is quite amazing. Mm-hmm. And they kept the motor-to-motor distance equal, exactly the same as this one. So this is the older original version, and yeah.
So how does the weight affect its ability to fly? The extra 3 grams you said.
Actually, well,
explain that.
So when it comes to flying, man, like every gram counts. You know what I'm saying? That's especially if you're an FPV pilot and you're doing racing, every single gram you can get counts. Obviously we try to cut back on weight because it's lift versus weight capacity, right? Mm-hmm. So with any airplane, it's going to fly longer with what? Less passengers.
Dan.
Right? What's that?
Switch me back. I'm on.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So with a real airplane, if you fully load an airplane with people, how long is it going to fly? Do you think it's going to fly as long as it didn't have people in it?
Yeah.
Depends how many big people are on it.
So
That's true.
the idea is to save every single gram. Like if you can cut back, do it. I've noticed that 2 grams can make all the difference of whether something's going to fly stable or it's not. You know,
I get that part. I was just saying for that specific model right there.
Yeah.
Does, Jose know
as you saw, the motors are tiny by
Yeah,
comparison.
so that helps.
And those motors are minuscule.
right?
The propellers are just see-through, and yet
Yeah.
it's all it needs. This thing will still go almost 30 miles an hour if you want it
Okay.
to. But to me, it's a videography platform. It's a photography platform. For me.
I don't see 3 grams really impacting too much of the flight time. If he had said something like 34 grams, 35 grams, something like that, now we're talking about losing a minute of flight time somewhere along the lines.
Okay.
Somebody
That's
did actually weigh the thermal and the regular, and yeah, the difference was the thermal was 3 grams every year. That's it.
And what does the thermal do? Does it actually what it says? It
Dual
takes,
camera, dual camera superimposes a kind of low resolution, like heat signature video over your optical video. So if you are, old guy in a rest home and you sneak out and you're lost inside a big old cornfield, just recently in our town of Ellicott City, where we had those big floods not long ago, just like 2 weeks ago, a guy got lost, and there's a local drone guy that lives there. He took it up and he found them.
Yeah.
The first responders were searching up and down. There's about 7 rivers converging. That's why it floods, because when you get a heavy rain, it's a perfect storm. Boom. And that town just gets covered with water. I mean, 20 feet of water, cars floating.
wow.
It's terrible. But anyway,
You know
he
what I don't
found the
like?
guy within 5 minutes, man. And then he had
What's
his
crazy-
GPS coordinates. He gave the police department, the fire department, the GPS coordinates where he found them. Boom, they found them within 5 minutes again. 10 minutes total time. And they were searching for him for hours.
Yeah.
So that's what that's for. Do I need it? Of course not,
But
Jose,
it's nice to know you can use it.
Scott has a question for you there.
Oh, have I had gimbal problems with the Anafi? I assume? No,
Yes.
so far so good.
I was going to say, he said, I heard it had a lot of gimbal problems. The only one I know that had a lot of gimbal problems that was released around the same time would be the
Bro.
the Mavic Pro and the the Evo. The Evo had a lot of gimbal problems out the whole time.
It was like crooked, right?
Right.
In the
It was
beginning?
just like
Horizon, yeah.
after about
Horizon,
6 minutes of flying, all of a sudden the horizon would start to bend on it,
This has a really good adjustment in the app. Just find a level surface. Like my workbench is real level, and I know what something on the wall that's actually level, and I can pre-adjust everything, this direction and also this direction, get it all zeroed out, and it stays that way. Whereas like the FIMI, the FIMI, you familiar with the FIMI drone?
The FIMI.
Yeah.
The FIMI S3 and S8.
Yeah. The other one, the more expensive one, was having all sorts of horizon crookedness problems. Or just yawing, it will make the horizon go crooked, and then it'll straighten out again, and then you yaw again, and it'll go crooked again. Yeah, oh boy. But no, so far so good. The only thing I could imagine, Dan, is if you put in some cheap ass filters on there, and it disrupts or adds too much weight to the camera, and then you cannot do the initial calibration, which occurs automatically when you start up the drone. It'll do this calibration step. That could be a problem. If the filters exceed a certain number of grams, it may not be able to handle it. The gimbal may not be able to handle it.
Jose, have you had any occasion? Have you had any occasion to contact Parrot customer support?
No.
Because they're
Yeah, they're shitty. Yes, totally.
Well, I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
It
used to be good.
Can't be nice.
It used to be good, and you can get on their chat like that. And I had to do that when I first got my Typhoon 500Q or Q500, and I had a bad battery with a bad cell. Dan knows about that. And Yeah, it would take off, and within seconds, it would emergency land. So I contacted them. All they told me was to take it to Best Buy. That was it.
For a refund?
No. I bought it from a third-party source. But as far as the battery failure, they said, well, we don't do servicing now. We farm that out.
Sell the stuff.
They farm that out. Yeah, they sell it. They farm out
That's it.
servicing to another, like a contractor. And of course, Parrot is sold by Best Buy as well. I wouldn't trust them as far as I can throw an elephant.
Who, Best Buy?
As far as their technical
fixing stuff.
Fix.
Yeah.
But you didn't go to the Geek Squad. You didn't do that.
I think the geeks fix televisions and computers. That's about it.
That's about it. Yeah.
I will say I've been to Best Buy not a number of times. I guess we've been to Best Buy, and they're not very knowledgeable. You start asking them about drones and stuff, and as drone people, we consider ourselves knowledgeable, but the person they have at the seller station never really knows much of anything, so it doesn't help me put much faith in their servicing abilities. When the guy
got the job probably a week ago, and then you put him in that position.
Right. Well, they saw that video. When they saw you with a camera, they were like,
Yeah. Yeah, that one guy I kept asking questions to, and he was like, I think. I'm like, how, you sell? Oh my God.
The best answer you get from people that I appreciate is, I don't know. Okay. At least you're being honest.
Right.
You don't know, I'll go to the next person. I'd rather hear you say, I don't know.
Or I don't know, and let me see if I can find out.
Right.
That's even better. I agree.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find somebody who knows a little bit more. I got you. Hold on.
Yeah. But fellas, I'm gonna have to check y'all later. I got some things I gotta take care of. It's been nice meeting all of you.
Nice to meet you, Mel.
All right, brother.
Nice meeting you, sir.
All right now.
Take it easy. Yikes.
Okay.
I look better smaller.
You know what? DJI have terrible support as well.
Yes.
DJI?
And Unique and Parrot.
DJI was not so bad when I had to replace the stuff. I wouldn't have them fix anything. I just replaced. I got lucky with them, I guess.
You know what they recommend? I saw this. I don't know where I saw it, but go ahead and get it at Best Buy and then buy like a plan through Best Buy. And supposedly they'll just replace it there.
Or you can get Allstate insurance for $60 a year.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't do it?
Allstate, did you say?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought I'm sorry. I was thinking State Farm, because State Farm was the one that had it around the nation, and they don't sell it in California.
Oh, maybe it is State Farm, actually. You might be right, State Farm.
Yeah.
They don't allow it there?
They don't sell the policy here in California.
Got it. And would it be covered under your homeowner's insurance?
No.
Like property or no? Nothing like that?
Yeah. What's the premium for State Farm? It's like $60 or something like that.
$60 a year. That's pretty, and you don't have to bring it back.
No. In fact, you know who used it is, I don't know if you're familiar with him or not, but Dennis Lovelady.
Yeah.
He used it when he was with Dan flying at the stadium, and that drone went boom into that light tower. He went back, it crashed, and he said, well, let me get some estimates. He tells the guy, and there's a rep says, oh no, we're going to give you full replacement value. They paid him the $1,500 to replace the drone, wrote him a check out for it. Yeah. He got a quote back from DJI. It was like, I think it was almost $400, somewhere right around there, to do the repairs on it. So he sent the drone back.
Made a profit.
And then, at the time, he had the Pro. So got the Pro repaired. So he went out with that money and then bought the Zoom. So it ended up costing him only $400, and he got a brand new Zoom, too.
That's great.
So he's got both.
Finally, the insurance does something good, right?
Yeah.
Other than collect money.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, one more thing for my buddy from New York. This has a zoom as well.
Yeah.
Oh, the Anafi, yeah. It's digital zoom.
It's lossless up to a certain point, and then lossy, meaning that it's basically all of it is digital. But the thing, the way they made it work, and this is brilliant because you got a pretty huge 21 megapixel sensor. But even 4K video. So here's your 21 megapixel 4K video is here. So you can it can just digitally utilize that sensor and give you like almost 2.8 zoom. I did a video just the other day where I zoomed, over up to the top of my street and back, and you really can't see any kind of drop in sharpness at all.
Right.
Through the whole range, and it's enough. I mean, you can do dolly zooms where that vertigo effect where
I've seen that. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Actually.
It's kind of a stupid gimmick, but it's possible.
Kind of neat. Kind of neat.
Reprogramming the app, you can actually do that automatically, man. It'll just do that for you. But
Dan, how are you feeling, Dan? Are you better?
I still have a hydrocele that hopefully is going to be dealt with on Thursday.
So you're not back to work? Not yet?
Not yet, man. They're going to poke a needle in my McNuggets and pull out a bunch of fluid that shouldn't be there.
Gotcha. Yikes.
You asked.
No, I understand. I'm actually not yikes for me. I'm, yikes for your McNuggets.
Yeah, man.
McNuggets and needles aren't a good mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the girlfriend has not been able to enjoy the giggle stick or the McNuggets for almost a year now, so she'll be happy.
There you go. That's one way of looking at it. What do I see down there in the lower right of Steve's?
Looks like something, right?
SEMA X5C-1.
Wow.
It's at we have a local thrift shop that's like some charity for the blind or whatever, but they had a Zima X, is it X3? One of the very first for like $2. Of course I bought it, Come to find out it didn't have a controller. Come to find out it had a fried battery. And so I tested it with another battery and it does power on, but I had to get a little controller. So that's for my grandson to play with. And found one for $9. And so that's
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at what I just saw Dan put up.
Oh, I missed that.
What do you mean by McNuggets?
Oh, I see.
I'll let Dan answer that one. It's his chat.
Hey, Jesse, you're a little young man, but you don't like getting hit in them.
Yes.
It's that part.
Let's say if you ride a bike and you fall down on the bar in the middle, it hurts. The McNuggets.
Every time a father is playing ball with his little boy, and the little boy hits that ball magnetically, amazingly, it hits you right there.
Yeah.
Regardless of where you're standing or how far you are from that kid.
And normally you don't have a cup to protect the McNuggets.
Yes. That should explain it pretty well, I hope.
Yeah.
How old is this young man? Any idea?
Yeah, Jesse's 9 or 10.
Oh, okay, cool.
I know it feels horrible. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not pleasant. As you sing soprano for about a week. No, I'm only kidding.
Hey Dan, I did a shot the other day. My daughter was having a big old party for her high school friend who was moving up to Pennsylvania. And so I say, hey, well, why don't we just all gather up front and I'll do a little droney shot, And so I got everybody set up, and I didn't notice that my grandson had his little drone that he got for his birthday on his palm like this. The little ship went ahead and waited for me to start flying back, tossed it up in the air, and he got within like 10 feet, did a complete arc move, like an orbit move where he was at, and damn near hit my bebop too.
Oh.
And I didn't notice that until I viewed the video later. I mean, the shot was perfect. It just went back, the same shot that you did before the batteries blew.
His poor little drone, though, had it hit the bebop.
Yeah, I think it would have been toast.
I feel bad. He would have been probably pretty upset he didn't have a drone anymore.
Yeah.
A Telos type of drone?
Actually, I looked it up and it was like $50, man, for this thing. And I thought that's a pretty damn good birthday present from some stranger, because it was like one of the children that came to the party, his party. The parents bought Nathan that drone. You know, so
That was nice.
yeah, it was really nice, very stable, really nice altitude hold, little tiny little shit about yay big, you know.
Matthew.
Good.
Matthew says,
he flew it expertly. I mean, and he was like, shit, I taught him too well.
What's with the Darth Vader theme? Well, I change my look and name every 6 months. It's just something I do to keep things fresh. I do.
First of all, what is wrong with using a Darth Vader theme? Anyway,
yeah, no, I love Darth Vader as a Star Wars.
What?
he's a very strong-willed individual who was very set in his ways, which is something that I am. You know, so
I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. Wait a minute.
How'd that taste? Was it good?
Oh man,
like excess heartburn in there.
Dan, come on, more, brother, more.
Darth Vader? Is that him?
Look at that.
Yeah,
that's Darth Vader, right?
Kylo Ren, man.
That is.
Oh, what do I know? But similar, no?
Is that the fellow?
Stay away from the dark side. Nah, man, the dark side is look, you got to understand that the reality is Darth Vader did bring balance to the Force. Okay? Yeah. Anakin Skywalker does end up turning to the good side and saving the entire Galactic Empire or the rebellion against the Galactic Empire. So even though he was Darth Dickhead, which is how I come off to a lot of people, in the end, I do save the drone community. You just haven't witnessed it
yet. Hold on, let me see.
You just haven't witnessed it yet.
You know, I'm surprised I don't get that saber light sword out of my back.
Yeah. I don't always agree with Dan, but what I like about him is he talks his mind. That's what you see is what you get.
That's it.
Exactly.
So, but I don't always agree. I want to say that.
No, I agree. That's why
that's okay, right? I think we're good with that. I think we're okay with that.
I have no issue as long as you say it to my face. Everything's gravy. It's when you sneak around the bushes and you try to act like it didn't happen or you didn't say it, and then I see a screenshot, and then somebody's like, "Look, you said it right here," and I'm like, "Ugh."
I hear you.
That's personal. When you make it personal, I have a problem with that, you know. And I still give you an out. I give everyone an out before I, give you the dark side.
Have you flown your what is that? That you had a Tiny Hawk, and did you have a Mobula too recently?
Yeah, I still got it. The Mobula is having some weird issues right now. It's jerky, and it keeps having some real nasty whoop stumble. So I think I'm just going to replace the frame and start over with the new frame. That one's got a couple cracks in it that I think are affecting its flightability at this point.
I'm sure it wobbles then, right?
Yeah, and the Tiny Hawk has a rear right motor that I have to keep messing with a wire before I fly.
You have to keep pushing it in.
Yes.
Oh, it's annoying, those things. You don't have any other motors?
No.
I got like 3 replacement motors for that the minute I bought it.
See, that's a poor design to me that has to happen. Like, it's not just me that it's affecting. It's a bunch of people that have the Tiny Hawk.
I have a video that I did to send to Banggood. Bang Me Good, because I had an issue with the motor from a brand new Tiny Hawk. I hate them.
I think a lot of people are coming to call them Bang Me Good. Yeah, they just take your money and don't care. They don't.
Well, you know what it is? You're stuck because they're in China. Every communication is 24 hours, 1 email a day, and the worst that I'm sorry that upset, or I'm sorry you're disappointed. Don't give me no crap. Just get to the point. Sorry for the inconvenience. I hate that. But
yeah, well, I do the same thing with Bang.
They call you dear. Hello, dear.
Like
some interesting names though for Chinese people.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, the best customer service story I've heard is from Ron Lockwood. It was a pair of binoculars. He was just on here a little bit earlier. He's out guiding right now. He's a hunting guide up in Wyoming. And he had a pair of Leica binoculars. Well,
I think I heard the story. He got like $3,000 binoculars replaced from something like that, right?
He sent it in. After he called, finally he worked his way up through the company, And the one gal she got on with, she says, "Give me 2 minutes." She comes back on. She goes, "You've called here, 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 here." They had a list of everything they called because they record every phone call.
Good.
And so, that for the practices, well, this is the first time that training practices worked out for Ron, because I mean, his binoculars, I think, were worth somewhere around $1,400 that he had. They sent him a brand new pair of range finding Leicas. Says, you will have a brand new pair. You will have a box on your door delivered tomorrow a.m. They will be there, because he was starting his hunting season. And she goes, "That is not going to happen, and that was improper for our company to do that to you." Then not only that, they called to follow up and then sent him a gift certificate for a couple of $100 on top of a pair of binoculars.
Wow.
It's twice as expensive than what he paid for his original.
Wow.
That's good customer service.
Yeah. It
They
was going
kept the customer, and not only that, but he'll recommend them to the next guy.
Yeah, they were going to have to send it back to Europe, and it was going to take a year for them to get it replaced and get it back to him.
Jeez. That doesn't help.
No.
Yikes.
And plus I'm sure they finally figured it out. If he's a guide working for these, touring companies that are out there, that he works with 12 other guides just on the company that he works with. So that word goes out, and then that word goes out. That's
Right.
the best advertising you'll ever get.
Yep. No. Yep. Word of mouth. That's the best way to go.
Yeah, that was a deal. He can just sit there now and look on it, put on the thing, you push the button, it tells you exactly the range distance right there while looking through the binoculars.
Wow. Of what he's looking at, huh?
So when you're looking for, like they're up there, they're bow hunting right now. So the antelope are out there, and puts it on, and he's in his truck, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that one's at something like, I forget what he said, 1,200 yards." And it's just telling
Wow,
exactly.
I could see that far. That's pretty far.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, when you're going, regular hunting, 300 yards, that can be a normal shot for deer hunting and stuff like that.
Really? 300 yards?
Yeah, bro.
That's 900 feet. That's a lot of bow and arrow.
That's from where he was at, where he was sitting, because the guide tour guide company that he works for, they lease, I forget what he said, some ungodly 80-some thousand acres that they have of ranches. So what they do is they rent the property from the landowner, and that is strictly leased to them for hunting for the season, and no other guide company can come on that property. So they get the exclusive rights to it, and by doing that, they get a percentage of the fees that the person pays to go on the tour and other stuff, but it gives them access onto all this private property.
I mean, I think even 100 yards to shoot something with an arrow is a pretty good shot.
Yeah, it is. Well,
because you have to go for the angle, then it's got to come down, then the wind, and then you got to hope it penetrates.
Windage and elevation, whether you're shooting a bow or whether you're shooting a rifle or a pistol.
Right.
Scott, it's all right, man. Like I said, it just I've been waiting for something to happen to my original solo, because what I'm going to do now is make it what I've been wanting to make it. I wanted to see how long the stock platform would stay stock, and now that we've bashed some things up and given her some new traded sheet metal dents with a few other trees, and I think it's time to start having some fun with the original frame and bodywork of it, and see where we can go. So this might just be the perfect excuse now to put some retractable legs on it and tie in some other things into the extension port board and make it a really crazy ass drone as opposed to just being the stock feature. So I think it's time to put some open solo on it, give it a unicorn horn. I'm sure for those of you guys, like Carlos just laughed, I'm being serious. They have what's called the HERE GPS that sticks out like a unicorn horn on the top of the solo. It might be time to run that MRO profile on it, and I refer to it as a unicorn horn. It looks freaking weird unless you have retractable legs on your Solo. So I think next up is retracts. And then I'm going to start looking into dabbling with newer cameras to make it a exceptional platform, something that it's probably needed a revamp for a while. So we're looking into some Storm 32 gimbals, some Tarex gimbals. I have another micro gimbal coming that I think only weighs 35 grams, but it is aluminum with brushless, so CNC, and it's supposed to take up to 100 gram GoPro. And so the GoPro 7 is 84.5 grams. The Hero 4 is 84.5 grams. 82, something like that. They're not very much. So if I can tie that in, I think we'll start seeing some really exceptional flight times out of the Solo. So like I said, this just gives me an excuse to really do some stuff that I've been wanting to do. I've been not wanting to tear it apart until it had a serious issue. And now that we've smashed it into 15 tree branches and said hello to the ground, I think it's time to put her through her paces.
You were going pretty quick.
Yeah, man. I looked down. I was going about 37 once I cleared the road. So that's when it started to stumble, and then the battery just. So
the GoPro 7 has internal stabilization.
What's that?
The GoPro 7.
Yes. Yeah. So I would be adding in. What do they call it? It's free. No. Oh my God.
Google it.
Natural motion. What is the Hero 7 stabilization called? Super smooth or something like that? Super smooth.
Would you activate that as well as
the
gimbal?
Yes, just to see what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see exactly how smooth you can make real footage.
Does it crop the?
I don't know. That's something I'd have to look into. I'm not well versed in the Heroes.
To crop into the image.
There is cropping on the stabilization on the Hero 7. I heard. Mine's got it. It does crop some.
How much are we talking here? Like, are we losing a ton of resolution?
That I know. I'm trying to remember if the stabilization even works in 4K. I know it works in 1080.
There we go. Me No Fly said hyper smooth. That's what we're talking about. Hyper smooth. Yeah. Thank you, Me No Fly, even though you don't fly.
Yeah. You gave up on your Spark. I think you own a Spark, right, Dan?
Oh no, that became somebody else's property 2 months ago.
But you did have one, right? A little while ago, you flew. You were
Is that what you want to call it? I wanted to call it a Dart.
You were complaining about it.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, it sucked.
Okay.
It wasn't a Spark; it was a Fark.
So you don't know anything DJI now?
Nothing.
Got it.
I'm much happier this way. It seems like every time I pick up a DJI product, unless it's a Phantom 3 standard, I get so mad at the restrictions. I never like to have anything tell me I can't do something. I'm sorry. You are my property. You will listen to me. When I tell you to do something, you do it. I don't care what the circumstances are. It is on me to make that decision, not you.
Well, we're not talking about the 400 feet part, at least, right?
What's that? No, well, of course I'm not going to try to fly up where other aircraft are. I'm saying the basics of, like, listen, man, if I'm within a 5-mile radius, but I'm only like 10 streets into the 5-mile radius, I'm going to fly. I'm sorry. I'm going to fly.
I see what you're saying. I got
that helicopter or that jet hasn't made it to a mile high by now, then he shouldn't be a
Mayday.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's just put that to rest.
What I disagree with, and they're sort of revamping that. When you look at sectional maps, it's no longer a circle per se, but more like a bow tie, because you have your incoming trajectory and your
approach vector and
it shouldn't be a circle, because these, like in DC, they always come down over the Lincoln Memorial every single time. It's the same route.
They're taking off this way. And
they either come from the south or the north.
Right.
Well, they land and take off according to the wind.
From the east. It's the same trajectory. It's a bow tie with a little circle in it. You don't fly in that circle, period. But you can fly outside. You should be able to fly outside those areas that are not part of that little bow tie, because the shape is like a bow tie.
Carlos, I don't think the winds affect the jets like that. When you're talking massive aircraft like that, I don't even think.
No, they land and take off with the wind, depending on the wind. Check it out. Google it. I did once.
Really?
Here in Orange County in California, we have what they call the Santa Ana winds. During the Santa Ana wind conditions, when it's coming off the desert, it's going to the ocean, those jets turn around and land 180 degrees. Instead of taking out over the water, they come in over the water and land coming in because of it. You have to, because of lift.
Right. Yeah. Wind. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not. Not going to bet my paycheck, but wind has a lot to do with how they land and take off.
Yeah.
Airplanes. From what I understand.
Well, airplanes. That's what I'm saying. Jets are moving at a. I mean, are we talking about jets here? Or are we talking about airplanes?
All of the above.
Any plane, the wind is going to affect it. Whether it's a 380, a 747, or it's a Cessna 152, the wind is going to affect the lift, and especially if you've got a side wind. If you got a side hitting wind on you, you watch those jets come in. They're crabbing. They're not coming in straight, coming into the pattern. You watch them.
Oh yeah,
they're crabbing in, and then they drop it down straight right at the last minute.
Right. I've seen that.
But here, like I say, in Orange County, we can get like 40, 60 mile an hour winds, steady, not gusts, when the Santa Anas are blowing. And where it blows is right through, going out through Irvine and Newport Beach, and right there is where Orange County, Santa Ana Airport is at. So they'll turn around on the incoming side. They'll be coming in, going inland, coming in for the land off the ocean. Anytime there's a Santa Ana condition, the runway pattern is reversed 180 degrees.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see if Jim is now talking. Approaches are classified as Class E in several layers. All runways are downwind.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not a weathered pilot in those things. So good to know. You're teaching me today.
Well, I live in between John F. Kennedy Airport and LaGuardia Airport, so imagine flying a drone. They make it very difficult. And then not even that far away is a helicopter. What do they call this? Takeoff place, whatever. Heliport. There you go. Then it came back.
I guess I feel like avoiding a heliport is one thing, but I don't understand how we're supposed to avoid helicopters when they can fly at any altitude, really.
I've noticed they fly low and
low.
They
don't care. They do not care. They are not above 500 AGL most of the time that they're here in Tampa.
Is that what they're supposed to be?
What's that? Here in our Tampa area is normally 500 AGL.
Any aircraft. Overpopulated areas are 500 unless they're on approach for landing or takeoff.
Oh no, these guys are definitely lower.
Yeah, they're fucked. Sure. I've seen some of these guys flying
like helicopter is another story.
Yeah. That's what I mean, helicopters.
Yeah.
So what's their minimum? 200, 300, 400? I don't know.
They're around 250 from what I see out here, but you don't even know they're coming. All of a sudden, they'll just pop up from a few trees.
Well, you can hear them coming. But
sometimes you can't, man. It really depends on where you're near traffic, or you know what I'm saying.
Well, I live pretty close to highways, and you see the helicopters right over the highways, also.
Yeah, we live near loud, trafficy areas, so all of a sudden a helicopter will just pop up out of nowhere. It's like, holy mackerel.
Yeah,
you can hear them.
I know when I was at Spin Up last year, the hotel I was at, which is right over next to Dell Computers, there was a specific heliport, and no airport. It was strictly a heliport. And I was out there flying, and I'm looking the distance, and I am just right on the borderline, but I'm clear. And just like you're saying, man, these dudes were like 150 feet off the deck, coming past the area where they should have been higher. They're just boom,
yep,
right on through.
Yeah. We DW Fest last year, we had a stupid tour helicopter. We were all flying our drones around the tower down here. And I think you guys have seen it, that big white tower that I fly sometimes, where I do circles around it. And it's a big water tower right off the highway. And it's really well known. It's a historic area. It's really cool down there. But, the helicopters, because they're not gauged at any altitude limit, they just do what they want. So we were flying drones, and they just they kept buzzing us, and they were like 190 feet, 200 feet high. But we were like, come on, dude, clear the area so we can fly. What do you, it was like.
Are you talking about those little black ones that people get in? Like little ones?
No, well, kind of, but his was a full-size tour helicopter, so he was just being a real douche to be a douche. Like, oh, look at the drone pilots down there. Like, dude, you didn't have to get 200 feet off the deck to see us. That's a real annoyance when somebody, like, I see so many airplanes break the law too, man. They'll come off the airport and they'll be flying like 200-300 feet off a house and stuff, and they'll buzz the neighborhood.
Really?
Like, yeah, man. They don't care.
We're talking about airplanes, right?
Yeah, like Piper Archers and stuff like that. 80 horsepower planes and stuff, 100 horsepower planes that single motors. But it's incredible to see how much they don't follow the rules. But I guarantee you, if one of them hit my drone,
you're in trouble.
I would be at fault, guaranteed 100%. Somehow I'd be at fault.
Well, from what I understand, they take precedence, and it's up to the drone pilot to get out of their way.
How am I supposed to move? I know you're coming at that altitude. You gave me a 400.
I'm with you, but I'm just saying, that's how they cover themselves.
Yeah, well, that's when
they crash on people. Then it's okay. It's not as bad.
Switch it into sport mode, rip out of there at like 90 miles an hour. Bye. You thought you were going to hit me to the rear.
Yeah. No, you don't have to worry about that with the quads anymore. I mean, you can have just as much fun at 100 feet, 40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
No headaches.
Hey, Dan, when you went to Orlando on your recent vacation,
jeez,
so did you pack your drone thinking
that I could fly? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Down in Gatorland where you went, is that area also
banned? Yeah.
Wait, you can't fly in Orlando?
Disney has paid a lot of money to the township or the city to keep people from putting drones up. They've also made it a thing where they have tons of Disney helicopter rides all over the place, right? Mm-hmm. So, and they made them really affordable to keep the helicopters in the air constantly. So it's like $15 per rider. So, they're making bank, but they're also able to keep it drone-free zone because of it. It's wow. Really kind of an annoying thing. You get into Orlando and you're thinking like, wow, I'll get some really good shots of, you put up and you realize the entire vicinity has been a TFR, but then you look at the time frame of the TFR and it says unknown time. So you're like, well, what does that mean?
There's just nothing temporary about it,
right? It's just a never-ending.
So we've had two things with Disneyland in California, and it's been that way for over 5 years.
Yeah,
or like 7 years, indefinite.
I'll be there on the 24th, Dan.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm heading
Orlando.
I'm heading on the 26th, so we're gonna do it at Disney World, and I'm not gonna pick up a car. I'm just gonna have the Disney bus take us from the airport. So you pack everything in there, including you can put your carry-on, which could be a drone, and once you get on property, the quickest way to get you evicted is to disclose that you have a drone.
Mm-hmm.
Get a Tello.
Well, it's not only that. They have drone sync there, which means that it's a geo-fenced area. Once you actually get to the outside of Disney's gates, the whole thing is a gigantic geofence around it. So it's like drone stop zone. I don't know what they're using, but they do it down here with Busch Gardens too. You can't fly into Busch Gardens anymore. If you do it, it's like hitting a brick wall with your drone. It just geofences you. They've got it all the way around the whole park, like a 25 feet off the gates.
Wow, I haven't seen PD Tech's name in a long time.
Yeah, PD Tech's awesome.
Yeah.
PD Tech should be a little upset right now because Xavier used his comments on his video today. Where is PD Tech?
He's above EBR, MinoFly, in between MinoFly. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up from the bottom.
Oh, yeah, PD, okay. Yeah, PD. Xavier used your comments today on his new video.
You talking about X Factor?
Yeah.
What kind of, like, what's up? Hey, you know what? Now that you mention it, if you don't mind me, can we talk about that whole thing?
I don't care. I mean, I'm not going too in depth because I'm not going to give the guy.
No, but I mean, if somebody says on a video, best settings for this Pro or best settings for Mavic Air, is that clickbait?
Personal opinion.
So, I mean, when they use the word best, isn't that a matter of opinion?
In their mind, it's the best settings. I mean, that's why I said it's an opinion. You know, it may be best for his needs, right? But I don't think it's the best possible settings. What is the best possible settings?
That's what I'm saying. It all depends on the individual, right?
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. It's opinionated. So, you know, his best possible settings might not be this guy's best possible settings.
But you don't find that as a clickbait or like a grab me best, the word best?
It kind of is.
That's what I'm saying.
That one I would let slide slightly just because it's his best opinion. In his mind, that's the best settings for him. You know, He may not be looking at it in the same aspect that we are.
So what was the issue with the, if you want to talk about it briefly, what was the clickbait word for you? Or what was it that was clickbait for you?
Oh, the whole flying a drone in TFR zone. Trump's, you know, it was a Trump TFR. Like, that's just really bad for the hobby. That's not proper, you know. He saw it as a big joke, and it wasn't a joke to us people that are like, dude, that's really bad for this hobby, you know.
So your issue was that he'll make the drone community suffer as a result.
Right.
Okay. That's all we could talk about. I mean, we don't have to talk about it, but I just wasn't sure how you know.
Well, no, but then he put out another video today, and it was about me and Dono. And what he wants me to do is get involved. He wants exposure. He saw that he got a ton of views last time because of what we did, making our videos about him. And he wanted exposure, more of it. He got a taste for it now. Now that's what he wants. He's, if I make a video, these two are going to make a video back. Ha 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 ha. You know, and
we do know, like, some of these rappers, I'm sorry to cut you off, they put out stupid music with words that are supposedly bad, the news reports, and everybody ends up finding out and buying their stuff instead of they say nothing and nobody even knows it exists. You understand what I'm saying? It actually has the reverse effect when you bring it to somebody's attention.
Right. Not for him. He likes the trolling. He seems to like the... No,
I understand. So then it's up to you to just say, unless, of course, you know, maybe he's doing stuff where it's going to affect a lot of people.
I did.
I actually know that guy.
This is about you.
Yeah, I did go, when I woke up. Ken Dono shared the link with me. He goes, look, we're today's video. And I was like, okay, I'll read what Ken said. Let's see here. Ken said, well, brother, no, hold on a sec. Here it is. Yeah, we're officially the Dan and Ken show, laughing my ass off. And then he shared the link with me.
Gotcha.
So then I clicked on it and I watched it, and it was him just taking cutouts of the video that we made about him. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I told everybody I was not going to touch on this. Like, I wasn't going to make another video about it. And I'm not.
Right.
Like, dude, I'll check back in with your channel in a year. I was totally serious about that. Like, hey, man, you're doing clickbait and bull crap for the community, and I don't agree with it. You're hostily taking over your Patreon account. And I say that weird. It sounds strange, but think about it this way. Somebody just referenced today a comment. I got an update on a comment, and it was like, you know, I don't understand what the problem is. The RC Sailors asked for people for their Patreon. And I said, that's different. That is different, because what he's doing is hostily getting you to join his Patreon for $1 so that you can get information. That's not a good way. That's shiesty. That's shiesty doing that. That's a really nasty thing to do to the people that support you. If they want to support you naturally, they'll join your Patreon account. You don't have to force them into it just so they can find out what happened in your video, which to me seems like you're flying in an area you shouldn't be flying in anyways, especially during a presidential TFR zone, and you're putting up 3 birds simultaneously at the same time. There's nothing legal about this, you know? And then he's like, ha, 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 didn't everybody get the joke? Ha, 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 ha. No, man, nobody got the joke. It was not funny. You took a poke at the whole drone community. We didn't find it amusing. You gained a bunch of Patreons for it who spent $1 now that should probably be feeling very taken advantage of by you and your actions. You know, like, there's no joke here. That's Xavier, in my eyes, is the most pathetic way you could possibly grow a YouTube channel. That's being honest. You know, that's just clickbait and bullcrap titles and, you know, making videos that don't make sense because you think it's amusing for the community and it hurts us in the end. It just doesn't. It's not amusing to me. I don't find it funny. you know?
Well, I don't know about the funny part, but as far as if he wants to charge people and they're willing to pay, that's between the person and making a choice.
No, I get that, but it's how he says it. That's the problem. He's like, oh, you know, I only feel like I should share this kind of information with the people that have supported me for a long time and are part of my Patreon. Like, oh, so everybody else is a nothing to you? Is that what you're saying? That's how you're putting it out there.
That's up to the people to decide that are his subscribers at the end of the day. They're going to figure that out one way or the other.
I get that, but I thought I would help them along with making, you know, hey, in case you missed what he did here and he's using this judo on you, let me show you how this works. Right. I'll draw you the path so that you don't have to take all the extra cut lines and trails. You know,
you're that guide with the binoculars that Steve was talking about. I tell you, Dan, when you got something on your mind,
I say it.
You got it. Yep. I'm pretty much the same way, but I usually get ostracized as a result.
Well, so do I. I put up a link with a bunch of shirts and merchandise that got 200 views and nobody bought a shirt. So I have to assume like most of the people that really respect me or that are, you know, don't follow me anymore just because of how open I've been about things and how much I just don't care to play the game anymore, you know?
No, so, I'm with you. Mean what you say what you mean, and just that's it.
That's it, man. So but,
that's why our country, I'm going to get into quick politics, just slow. That's why our country is the way it is, because everything is politically correct. You can't say anything to offend anybody.
Oh, the hell with that, dude.
And then, I mean, but YouTube is like, you know, now we have YouTube safe spaces or safe places or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of pathetic. Drives me nuts. Anyway, that's it. No politics.
Come to California. You want to see?
Forget it. I mean, I'm in New York. I mean, what do you think? It's the same thing.
Place, I think, more often than there is gas stations going down the road.
I'm sure New York and California are like, you know, butt brothers or sisters. Oh no, is that bad? Did I say butt brothers? Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you know, honestly, I just watched a interview with Dave Chappelle in 2001. And man, after watching
did you see his new thing on Netflix?
Yeah, I've been watching all of them. He's got a bunch of comedy releases that just came out. But just to get back to this, Conan O'Brien and Dave Chappelle would be absolutely frame broiled if they did that interview by today's standards.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, you want to go there, watching a rerun of All in the Family.
Oh, yeah.
With Archie Bunker. They're still on. And I love that guy. Oh, my God. He's so funny.
But it got me thinking, though, like, you know, this has actually happened to our country. This is how things are now. Like,
it's terrible.
You have to really watch what you say, because if you don't, someone's going to make a video and throw you under the bus. And next thing you know, you're viral for the wrong reasons. And all of a sudden your life is completely ruined because of something you said in 1995 to somebody else. And, you know, it's like, geez, this is what we've really come to. So technology.
We have to live in a hospital environment where everything is white and one color. I mean, you know, it could be whatever color you want to choose, but it's just no fun anymore. You can't make fun of anybody.
I've noticed nobody right. You can't at all. Like, there's no humor in it anymore. People just why would you say that?
Yeah.
It's funny and it's true, and you know it's true. You're just trying to act like it's
so sad. It's just so sad. It's so sad. And I don't care. Like that word homophobic. I'm not afraid of them. What? That's such a misnomer. That word drives me nuts. Are we not allowed to agree with their behavior? That's all it is. It's you know, if you're lesbian or gay and you need my help, you're in a car accident, you fall down, I'm going to help you. I didn't need to know who you had sex with. You're just a person to me. So That's what drives me nuts. That's it.
There is a skit by Key and Peele called Homophobe. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. When you get a chance, man, Just watch this. It's so accurate of a representation, though. It's almost scary. Let's see here.
That's a misnomer.
Doesn't that term imply that you are scared?
Afraid, yes. A phobia. Anything is a phobia.
Right.
A phobia. Right. Whereas it has nothing to do with your views or agreement or disagreement. It's just that you're afraid of whatever.
Right. No, you're not afraid.
I'm not drone phobia. I'm afraid of drones.
He said as long as in my so there's the link. If you guys haven't seen this video yet, I impress upon you to watch it because it does have an amusing ending, but it's also like very true. Like there is so much truth in it that it's really all of a sudden loses its funniness. You know, it's totally
sad.
Huh?
Then it becomes sad.
Right. But then you're like, wow, it does happen that way daily. Jeez. Never thought about that. Well, listen, guys, she just got home. I can hear the dogs got excited. I'm going to have to end this and go hang with her. So,
well, that's a good thing. It's an investment.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to pick this up. But like I said, copy that stream or that link if you haven't already to have a view. Tell me what you guys think next time around. And we'll have to do this again.
Gotcha. Well, I got your bell rung, so I figured I'd come and say hi.
There you go. All right.
Adios, amigos. Steve, nice to meet you. Jose.
Bye-bye.
Everyone in the chat, peace.
Later, Carlos.
Love your neighbor, regardless.
There you go.
Just don't agree with them.
What it all comes down to is I'll listen to you.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean I have to accept what you say.
I respect you and all that. Yeah.
And not be silenced.
Right. And with that, adios, amigos. Take care, guys.
Jose.
Take care.
Yeah.
Jose and Carlos. Boy, what names? I mean, you can't get any more Latin than that.
There you go.
We need a Pedro and a Pedro and who else? I don't know. A Maria. You have the whole Spanish book list of names. All right, guys. Take care.
Later, everybody. All right, everybody in chat, I am out of here. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being supportive. If you smash the like button, good on you. If you smash the dislike button, good on you. I'm out of here. I'm going to go hang with the girlfriend, and I will catch you guys on the flip, man. To your view.